Right, I think we are live. As always, please let me know in the chat if you can hear me and see me okay. Yeah, and I just noticed that on my loading screen that I normally have on, there's normally a lot of funny messages that appear, but they weren't appearing. So, yeah, apologies for that if you were expecting the funny messages. The countdown was working, which was fine. Anyway, we are here for, as voted on by my Patreon supporters, CloudAge solo playthrough. Now, I've already covered this game once. A few weeks ago, I did a live video where I unboxed the game, read through the rules, and played the game live on camera. This is not going to be one of those videos. The music was really quiet. Okay, right. I'll sort that out later on. Yeah, this is just going to be a playthrough. This is not going to be a tutorial. If you do want to learn how to play the game, I would recommend going back to my other video. Although, as I say, in that video, it was not me teaching you the game. It was me sitting here learning how to play the game. I'm a little rusty on the game. I've spent the last 30 minutes trying to refresh myself of how it works. We are all set up. And we're actually going to be playing the story mode tonight. We're going to be playing the campaign mode. So if you don't want any spoilers, it's one of those. The spoilers in this game is minimal, okay? You can totally play this game yourself, even knowing the story, unlike some other narrative games. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. If you don't want to know the story, thank you very much for tuning in. And, yeah, come back when you've played it yourself. There's two ways to play this game. You can either play one of the 3 scenarios that's included in the game, or you can play through the campaign, which is a series of 7 chapters. 7 chapters. And we played chapter 1 last time. So I'm going to continue from where we left off. Yeah, right. Okay. So I think I've done the setup. We've got the setup done. For chapter 2, you use 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A. These boards are two-sided. You use different ones depending on which chapter it is. We've got the solo mode here. We're using the A side of the airship. So we're not using the upgrades on the right-hand side. We're going to get a mission card in a minute. I've got 8 cards shuffled and placed in here. Yeah, this is the solo board. That starts off there. I've got my 5 starting cards in my hand, which I haven't looked at yet. So they are my starting cards. I don't know where to put these, actually, because when I buy the cards, they're actually going to go under here. So I don't really know. Maybe I'll just keep them in my hand and show them now and again. Mike's here. Hi, Mike. Thank you for joining in. I meant to send you an email today, but I ran out of time about the top 10 thing that we discussed. So I'll do that at some point soonish. Right, okay, are we ready to go? Have I got these tiles the right way up? I think I have. So in chapter 2, you actually start with a mission card. Now, I've not played with the mission cards before because they are not used in chapter 1. Why does the title say Stroganoff? Oh, it does. Thank you very much. Right, bear with us a minute. That was there from earlier on today. I just need to change that. That's why people are making Stroganoff comments. This is, what's it called? CloudAge solo play through. There you go. Boom, done. Thank you very much. Right, there you go. CloudAge. I'm always forgetting to change that. I changed everything else. Yeah, so mission cards. So you've got 1 mission card. I think you're going to get more at the end of the by the end of the game, and it's basically it's end game points if you do a certain thing. So, do I have a camera view set for this one? I do not, but I will move one around. There you go. There is my player board. So yeah, so this mission here is, let me just have a look at it. So it's 2 missions, and you can do either or both. This one is for having built 4, 5, or 6 airship upgrades at the end of the game. I will get 2, 4, or 6 points. And then the bottom one is for visiting those cities, I believe. If you have markers in 1 or 2 of these cities at the end of the game, get 2 or 5 points. So let's have a look at where those cities are. Senia, Eden, and Cruelfield. Sounds like a lovely place. They're probably at the end, aren't they? Cruelfield is there. Okay. I might mark these. With a yellow cube so that I remember where to go. So there's Cruelfield, Senia and Eden. There's Eden. And where is Senia or Senia? There should be a number telling me which board it's on. Can't see for looking. There. Right, okay, so if I go to one of those, I get 2 points. If I go to two of them, I get 5 points. Okay. Right, let's put them away. That's my cards, don't put them away. Right, I got my deck of 7 cards. That's all shuffled and ready to go. And if you get more missions, you have to overlap them. We'll get to that later on. Right, okay, so yeah, we are ready to go. We're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. Just before we start, a couple of things. I mentioned that it's my Patreon supporters that have voted on this. So for those of you who are watching who are Patreon supporters of mine, which many of you are in the chat, thank you very much for your support. For those of you who are not a Patreon supporter or want to know what Patreon is, this video is not a sponsored video. It's basically a lot of the videos that I create are only made possible due to the support of the Patreon campaign. And my Patreon supporters get all sorts of extra benefits, some behind the scenes videos, and also voting on what games I'm going to be covering on the channel. So yeah, if you're interested in supporting the channel, patreon.com/gaming rules. And as James says, please click that thumbs up on the video. And if you are not watching this live, if you are watching this afterwards, which a lot of people do, 95% of my views come from people watching this afterwards, please leave me a comment. Just let me know that you watched it and what you thought of it, and if you want to see more. Although it will be my Patreon supporters that decide on what games I'm going to be covering. Right, moving on. Chapter 2. Let's read a bit of the story. Are we ready? Chapter 2. You can barely remember the time before the change. When the refineries were torched, you were still a child. Smoke from the fires of destruction darkened the sky, and governments collapsed in the chaos of the ensuing worldwide environmental catastrophe. The Cloud militias were the only ones prepared and seized power. Anyone who wants to escape their influence as much as possible lives and travels in airships. These are silent and consume little to no energy. Only a very few cities still count as independent. To help the populace, you repeatedly engage the weaker militias in skirmishes. But how long can the resistance hold out? Right, so that is the story card. There is a book icon on here which has confused a number of people because they do that straight away. But you don't do that straight away. We only do that when we reach the first book point, which I think will be after the end of round 3. Okay, so... And this is the solo game, so there are solo things that we're doing. You'll notice that there isn't another player, but there is a solo board that does stuff. So, set up the board as if for 2 players, but the second player doesn't need any airship, a drone, or anything like that. We have a solo board instead. We carry out the production movement phases for a 2 to 4 player game, but the action phase is something slightly different. So the phases are... Again, it's not going to be a full tutorial, but the phases that you do, the sequence of plays printed here on the bottom. So we do this, we pass the start player marker. We don't need to do that in round 1, and we don't need to do that in a solo game. Then we do production. So in production, we have a look at this board here, and depending on where we are on the board, we can spend energy to produce. So if I wanted to, right now, I could spend 1 energy to produce 2 water, and I think I'm going to. So I spend 1 energy, and I produce 2 water. If anybody knows this game, by the way, and I do make rules mistakes, please point out the rules mistakes in the chat. And if you're watching this afterwards and I make rules mistakes, please let me know. Because I do want to be obviously playing the game correctly. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That is the production phase. And next, we do the whatever phase it's called. It's still the production phase. Yeah. Produce water and possible victory points. So we've done that. Navigation deck. That's it. Right. So next up is revealing the top 2 cards from the navigation deck. Okay. So each player has a 7-card navigation deck at the start of the game. Everybody has the same cards in there. They're numbers 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, and a 3. You reveal the cards. The lower value card is how much energy or project cards that you get. So immediately receive either the energy or the project cards in the amount indicated. So I'm going to take an energy back up to 2, okay? And then you add the lower value card to your discard pile. Let's just move that across a little bit. There you go. So that goes onto my discard pile, and then the higher number card goes on top of that. Yeah, and the value of the higher number card is going to be needed during the movement phase. Okay, so there we go. Right, now we go to the movement phase, and this is done in turn order, but again, I'm the only player in this game. So what we do is we move the airship. Now the airship has to move, you've got to end your move on a city. Movement points is 2, because number 2 is on top. +1 for every engine upgrade I have. I don't have any engine upgrades. +1 if I decide to use the solar panel. And then cards for any upgrades that I've got on my ship, any project cards, which I don't have. So my movement is either 2, or if I want to use the solar panel, I can move 3. But if I don't use the solar panel for movement, I get 2 energy. So I think that's what I might do. And again, you've got to end on a city. So I think I'm not going to use the solar panel for movement, okay? Michaela's played the whole campaign. Excellent, right, so you can help me out if I get any rules wrong. So I'm going to use the solar panel to generate energy, and I'm going to move 2. So 1, 2, and these are the cities, these areas here covered in cloud. So that's where I've ended my movement. Then what you do is you have a fight. Well, you don't have to have a fight, but if you do have a fight and you win, you get the rewards that are printed on it. Either way, you're going to put a cube onto the city. So to win, I need to have a combat value equal to or higher than 1. Combat value is the number of combat upgrades, 0. I have no combat upgrades. Are these combat upgrades? Yes, they're combat upgrades. So I have none of them. Combat value of project cards that I've played, none of those. So my base combat value is 0. But now I can draw additional navigation cards to boost my combat strength. The first card costs 1 energy, so that's what I'm going to do. Spend 1 energy, reveal a card, it's a 0. That's not good. That actually goes into a separate pile. You can draw as many additional cards as you like, but each additional card is either 2 energy or 3 victory points. So I'm going to spend 2 energy, and I'm going to draw another card, and it's a 1. So I have succeeded. I didn't have to carry on, I could have stopped, and I just wouldn't have got any rewards. But yeah, end of combat is done. Those 2 cards go to my discard pile, and I put a cube on that city, right? So I have had a fight in that city. I can't do another fight in that city. And I get the 2 water as a reward. Water, by the way, this was a comment that I had from the previous playthrough, is that some people felt it was unusual that you were spending water to build things, but actually, thematically, you're trading the water. You're getting other people to build the stuff for you, and you're trading them water. David's here. Hi, David. Thank you for joining in. Right, yeah, take the leftmost marker from the round track and add it to the city in which your airship is located. You can visit the city again, but you can't fight there anymore. So I have fought those cloud pirates, and I defeated them, and I got 2 water, and that is the end of the movement phase. So the action phase is different in the solo game. So what happens in the action phase, it's split into 2 parts. The first part is the solo board. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. So solo board action. We move the leftmost cube down, and then we carry out the action that's printed on the solo board. I will set a camera angle very quickly for the solo board. There's the camera angle for the solo board. Okay, so you can see that we move a cube down, and now we're going to carry out that action there, which is I may carry out 1 build action, which is either an airship upgrade or to play a project card. Okay, so airship upgrades, I can either improve my movement, or I can improve my combat strength, or I can play one of these project cards. Now these project cards, the cost is in the top left, so you can see the different project cards that I've got. These all cost a variety of water costs, but some of them also require me to discard another card from my hand. In fact, all of them require me to discard another card from my hand. But these upgrades will go below here, and these will give me all sorts of additional benefits. Yeah, I quite like the grappler, but I think I'm gonna upgrade my ship. The reason for that is I've got this mission here, which is to do some upgrades. So that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to upgrade. Where do we want to go next? If we want to go here next. I'm going to upgrade my combat. So I'm going to spend 2 metal and I'm going to upgrade my combat abilities. You have to upgrade them in order and you will get points at the end of the game for the most one, the best one that you've upgraded. Right, so that was that. It was either do an upgrade or take a project card. Then what we do, that's the solo board action. Then what we do is we do the city board action, which is this bit here. So the city board action is I choose a space on the city board and place my drone on it and carry out the action according to the usual rules. This was the cool part of the game. I enjoyed this last time I played. Yeah, no, it's all right. I'll stick on that one. No, I'll do it. I'll move this here. There you go. So this is the city board. And basically you choose an action, and there is on the A side of the board there is only one action, which is there. And what you can do with that action is either, he says, just checking the rules, you can either build. Is it there? Or is it on one of these? Right, let me just check this. Choose one of the 3 city sectors. You can either collect resources or build. That's it. So this option is build, or I could go to one of these to collect resources. Later on, we'll have another choice. There's another choice here later on in chapter 3 and onwards. So yeah, I quite like the idea of collecting resources. And this is where you look at the boards and you're trying to basically work out from what you can see which resource you'll get the most of. I need metal. So I'm looking at these to see which one might have the most metal. And I can see some metal here. And I can see a little bit here, because you don't know. You know a little bit of information, but you don't know everything. I think I'm going to go there. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to choose to go to Sector 3, and I'm going to choose to get metal. So if we were playing multiplayer, what would happen is all other players around the table at this point, they would now place their drones on other spaces in this sector. And then we reveal the card and people get, people get whatever it says on the card. So remove the corresponding top card from the cloud sleeve and add it to your navigation card discard pile. So we take the top card out. This is going to go in my discard pile, but you can see there, oh, I chose the wrong one. Oh well. Yeah, each city card has has a navigation value, 4 resources. The region with the largest area always provides 3. The smallest one always provides 1. And then some of the icons have got the card or the wrench. So basically, you immediately receive the new bonus in the top right. And in chapters 1 and 2, that's water and not growth tiles. Normally, it's growth tiles. So I'm going to take 3 water. 1, 2, 3. And then each player in turn order receives as many resources of their chosen type as indicated by the card. So because I chose metal, there's only 1 metal, because I chose badly, so I only get 1 metal, but I do get to carry out the bonus action. Now that is a navigation upgrade, an update, which means I can remove a card from my discard pile out of the game. So I'm going to get rid of the 0. So I'm thinning my deck a little bit. And yes, deceiving clouds. They got me. Anyway, that is now in my discard pile. So that becomes part of my deck. There is a little bit of a deck building element to this game. I have a question for you. For those people who know the game or have seen me play through chapter 1, would you say this is a deck building game or not? This is going to follow on to something that I'm going to be covering in a couple of months' time. But I'm just curious, if a game is like this, which has a deck building element to it, is it a deck building game? If not, where do you draw the line on what is a deck building game and what isn't? There you go. Question for the chat. I think we're done. Yes, I think that is the end of the first round. We did all of that. We did all of that. We go to round 2. Okay. So round 2, production. How do you get your production up? That's a very good question. I do not know. I can't remember how your production moves up. Maybe it's cards. Maybe it's cards that do it. Yes, it's cards that do it. Okay, yeah, I can see it on here. Okay, so some of these cards, when you play them, move your production marker up. Right, okay. There's just one thing I just wanted to check about playing project cards, and then I will be with you. Playing project cards, pay the cost shown in the top left, put the water in the project cards to discard pile. Yeah, okay, right, we're good to go. Round 2. Production. Do I want to spend an energy to get 2 water? Well, I've only got 1 energy. And I think I'm going to need to move. I kind of want to go here to Devil's Fox. And that's going to cost me 1, 2, 3. In fact, I could go there instead. Oh no, because that costs 2 movement to go through. And I don't have 2 movement. Oh, well, I might get 2 movement. Yeah, I don't know what my default movement is going to be. No, I'm not going to produce. I'm going to keep the energy. Okay, so let's have a look at the next 2 cards. 1, 2. Right, we have a 3 and a 1. Okay, now that's good. So the 1 either gets us a project card or energy. Is that right? Yeah, the lowest one is either energy or project cards. Now, am I happy with these project cards? I think I'm going to take an energy. Right, so I'm going to take an energy. And then the highest one, 3, is used for movement. Right, okay, so we're going to go into movement. My movement points are 3. Now, I could buy an extra movement point. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy an extra movement point. So I'm going to use the solar panels for movement rather than the energy. So my movement is 4. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because that space there, there's 2 little arrows on it. That means it's going to cost me 2 movement points to move onto that space. But that is a find, and I found 2 metal. It's a couple of old tin cans. So that's movement done. Right, now we've got combat. So I need a combat of 3 if I want to fight them, and I do. So my default combat strength is 1. Now, I do know what that card is. Right? Let's just have a look what that card is. I know that card is a 2. Yeah, because I'm looking through my deck. The 0's gone. The 3 1s are there. So I know that card is a 2. So I am going to spend 1 energy to reveal the card. Oh, look, it's a 2. Right, done. 3 combat. That goes on there. I get 3 water. Now, there are 5 waters. So if you're worried about you running out of components in a multiplayer game, there are other tokens that represent 5 water. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use all of the little ones because I got loads of them and I'm playing solo. These are really, really nice components, these. Right, that's the combat done. Put a cube on the city, done. Now we go into this phase. So we're going to move this down here. Now, what's that action? Solo game, that is, you may collect resources in either sector 1 or 2. Okay, so I can collect resources in sector 1 or 2. So let's have a look. What do we want to do? Well, we want more metal, don't we? We need more metal to buy more upgrades. So I'm having to move my head around because there's a shine. Now, there doesn't look to be much metal there. There also doesn't... Oh, there's a bit of metal here. I'm going to go for metal in sector 2. Okay. You may collect resources in sector 1 or 2. When collecting resources via the solo board action, return the city card you draw during the action back to the... Oh, that's if they do it. If you chose the largest region, you get nothing. Right. So this is important. If I'm taking resources from a sector because of this solo action, 2 changes. 1, I don't get the card. And 2, if I choose the largest one, I actually get nothing at all. So you don't want to choose the largest one. So I'm going to choose sector 2. And I've chosen metal. And let's see what we get. Okay, the metal is 1. Okay, bit rubbish. I thought this was a bit of metal here. So I thought there was going to be more metal. There isn't. So I only get the one metal. Okay, and then that card gets discarded. I don't get the resources, and I don't get the 3 water. Right, and then it's my go. So at this point, I can either get resources or I can do 2 builds. I think I might do 2 builds. Okay, so the first build I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my weapons again. So this time it costs 3 metal. Okay, the first one. And the second one, I'm going to play a card. Now, which card of these do we want to play? I'm going to play this one. I'm going to play a drive unit. Okay, so what a drive unit does is it costs me 7 water. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did that card have a wrench for metal? It did not, I'm afraid. The card did not have a wrench for metal. The wrench was in the big area. So, I mean, yeah, the wrench is there, but no, the wrench was on the project cards. So I've spent the 7 water. I also have to discard a card. So I'm going to discard that one to the discard pile. And I've played this drive unit. So basically what the drive unit does is it goes here. Now, what I do is I actually took this completely underneath. The rulebook doesn't say to do that, but I do it to save a bit of space. It does mean you're losing the icons, but it's printed in text at the bottom of the card. So yeah, that's not in the rulebook to do that, but that's what I do. It means every movement phase, I either get a movement point or an energy because of a drive unit. Right, it's basically an extra solar panel. Okay, so that's it. I think that's the end of the round. Yes, that is the end of the round. Right, round 3. Production. I've still only got 1 energy. Do I want to spend that energy to get 2 water? I do. I'm going to spend my energy to get 2 water because we're running out of water. Right, next, reveal 2 cards. Normal deck building rules apply whenever your deck is empty. Give it a shuffle. Okay, and then reveal 2 cards. Right, we've got a 3 and a 2. So the 2 means I either get 2 energy or 2 project cards. I'm going to get 2 energy. And the 3 is good because that means we've got 3 movement points. So 3 movement points. I could have 4. I could have 5. Now I only need 3 to go 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my solar panels to receive energy, and the drive unit to receive energy. So I get 4 energy. 3 movement points, 1, 2, 3, picking up the metal along the way. And I've arrived here in this city and I need 3 combat points to get 3 cards. And this is one of the cities that I want to go to get points. So let's do combat. I have 2 combat points straight out. I'm going to spend 1 energy. And I got 2 combat points. So that's it. That is done. That goes on there. And I get 3 project cards. So the project cards are in a big pile. These were shuffled, and I get 3 new ones. Okay, right. What have we got? Well, that's quite nice. Very expensive, but it's quite nice. That's also quite nice, and that's quite nice. I think I might be buying that. Yeah, what's interesting about these cards is that all of these cards require you to discard another card as part of the cost, and I really like that as a mechanism. Because it gives you more difficult choices, and also you will end up drawing more cards than you need. So, right, we've done that, It is now solo board time. So that is a build or 2 points. Well, I think I've got no points at the moment. Is that right? Yeah, I've got no points at all. I think I'm going to build, and I am going to build the EMP blaster, which is 3 water and another card. Do I want to use the start player marker to track the phases? No, I think I'm okay. Yeah, I know I get confused in a lot of games, but I think I might be all right in this one. Yeah, so the card I'm going to throw away is that one. Don't want that card. So 3 water and a card, and that's going to go there. And that gives me another permanent combat point. And then it's my go, and what am I going to do? I am going to choose to build. And I'm going to do 2 builds. And the first build I'm going to do is this wreck, which is 3 water and a card. Okay. And the immediate ability is I gain 2 metal. And I also move my production marker 1 space forward on the production track. Okay. Now that goes there, although there isn't any other effect of that card. So yeah, that doesn't do anything else. And then as my second build, I'm going to spend 4 metal and I'm going to upgrade that. Yeah. So I've now got 4 combat points natively. I've got 3 from these upgrades and I've got 1 extra from that. So I'm all tooled up for combat. I have only got 2 cards left in hand though, but that is it. That is my go done. We now go to the next round, and at this point, the book symbol activates. So I'm just going to show you the book symbol if you've not played the game before. Basically, whenever there is a book symbol on this is effectively a round track, and whenever a book symbol has an empty space to the left of it, but not an empty space to the right, that's where the book triggers. It's basically certain points in the story, or certain points in the game, something will happen. Paul, was building a card an option there? Might just be build on the airship. Nope, it is an option. If you look on here, if you choose the build action, you can do 2 builds and each one can be an upgrade or a card. So I could have done 2 cards or I could have done an upgrade, whichever. If we look on the solo board, however, the build on the solo board, that is just oh, is that what you mean? Ah, thank you. Yes. Okay. I think you're right. Yeah. So I did cheat. Right. Okay. So I can't have built 2 cards. Now, I could have played the 2 cards, but I wouldn't have had the 4 metal to do that. So I tell you what, if I just swap that for that, we're good to go. So what I did with that, oh, and then I need 2 metal. Yeah. Thank you very much. So the solo board action was to build, to do an upgrade. And then what I did as my build action was to play those 2 cards. So we're good. I just didn't get that and I got that instead. Right. Okay. I think that's it. We're all right. What was I saying? The book. Yes. So we now process the book, which is the story. And I hadn't zoomed out. So I've got me 2 metal back, flipped that over, and I got that instead. Right. Read the reverse side. A group named Cloud has triggered the change. The group's militia are attacking independent cities as well as a resistance barracks in Devil's Fork. Okay, now I didn't realise this, but we're going to make this playthrough interactive because, similar to my Maracaibo playthroughs, we have a choice. We have 3 choices, and I'm going to leave it up to you to decide which choice we go for to make this interactive. Okay, so we have 3 options. We can either deliver metal to the barracks to help with the reconstruction. Okay, bear with us a moment. Don't make a decision just yet. So option A is deliver metal to the barracks to help with reconstruction. Or option B, fight the Cloud militias. Or option C, it just says tie. I don't know what that means by tie. Tie what? Anyway, it's A, B or C. I don't understand what C means. It just says the word tie. But your choice. And we'll go with whatever gets the most votes. So option A is to deliver metal to the barracks to help with reconstruction. Option B is fight the Cloud militias. And option C means tie. Oh, decide as a group what you want to do. Right, okay, thank you. So the way this should work... Oh, right, and in case of a tie, it is option A. Right, forget option C. It's A or B. I see, yeah, you decide as a group. So basically, each of you votes, and if it's a tie, you go with what is option A. Right, okay, so option A or B. I'll just have a drink of water while you're deciding what we want to do. Right, so we've got a B. Yes, a C. Paul is saying fight. Which one's that? I just need A and B. Paul is saying B. So that's 2 for B, 3 for B, 4 for B, 5 for B, 6 for B, 7 for B, 8, 9 for B. Giblox and Kyle want to go with A, but the majority of people, yeah, hundreds of Bs. We're going with option B. We are fighting the Cloud militias. So we read story card 14, which is this one. Right, okay, so we have a branching storyline, even in this. A group of resistance fighters in Wicca hears of your engagement at Devil's Fork and offers their support if you need it. Okay, add L1 to E on the game board. Right, so there is not a legacy element to this game because you're not making any permanent changes, but there are these legacy tiles which evolve the board as the game goes on. Very similar to Maracaibo. So I'm looking for L1. So this is L1, and we are adding this to E. So I need to look on the board for E, there. Okay, so that is going there. Okay. Rule. If you have a marker in this city, you can remove it from the game at any time during combat to gain 2 strength. If you didn't use it, score 3 victory points at the end of the game. Okay? And we've got some new project cards. So there are more project cards that come with the game. And I'm taking all of the ones with the number 1 on. Okay? And they are getting shuffled into the draw pile. Awesome. Francis has just popped in to say hello before his next meeting. Right, my advice, Francis, and this is more life advice, is tell your boss you're going to stay and watch Paul's videos instead because it's much more interesting than the meeting. That's what I'd do, definitely. I'm sure there won't be any downside to doing that. I mean, you know, board games. Board games. No, thank you for popping in. The video will be here later on if you wanted to watch it after your meeting. Or watch it during the meeting. just put the iPad under the table. Right. Give each player 1 mission card. And there is now something that's going to happen during the next book event, which is there. So in the next book event, each player can carry out the combat shown below. If you get 7 combat, you get 4 points and 3 cards or 3 water. Wow. Okay, right. So I get a mission card. Right, so the way that mission cards work in this game is you can only, if you get a second one, you have to cover up one of your missions. So, well, I've kind of started on that one, but that's actually harder to do without the B side of the board. Am I going to get to 6 upgrades by the end of the game? I might do. Am I going to get to that? I don't think I'm going to get to that. So that's the one I'm covering up. So I'm going to put my missions like that. Okay, so they are the 3 missions that I've got. And when I get an extra mission, again, something has to be covered over, but you can cover over one of your existing ones. Cool. Right, so that's the book event done. Production. Do I want to spend 1 energy for 3 water? Yes. Because we're running out of water. 1 energy for 3 water. Right, let's reveal the cards. 1, 2. Let's see what we get. We've got 2 1s. So we get 1, either energy or a card. I'm going to take a card. It's a mechanic. Ooh. And then I've got 1 movement point. Yeah. 1 movement point. +1. So I've got 2 movement points. It's going to cost me 3 to get to here. So I am going to use my solar panel for the 3rd movement point. Okay, so... oh, and I can go via here. So 1, 2, 3. I've got a point. My first point. Lovely. And I get 2 energy from this. Okay, so that's movement done. That's movement done. Combat. We need 4 combat. Right, so I've got 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to spend an energy for 4. Nice. Okay. So we've done that, and we get Dup 1. Okay. Combat is done. Thing has been done. And now it is the solo board. So I get a card from Sector 2. So Sector 2, what are we going to choose? Well, I need more metal. I just really need metal. Is metal the biggest one on this board? It could be, but I spy with my little eye, there's a thing there. I'm trying to have a look at the card. I think I'm going to choose metal. I've just noticed the chat is in front of me. Oh, I'll fix that next time. Yeah, I'm going to choose metal. Okay, here we go. Let's hope it's not the biggest one. It's not. This is perfect. Yes, this is brilliant. So it's 2 metal, which is good. And I get to do a navigation update, which means I can I'll remove one of the 1s from my discard pile. There you go. Right, and I don't get the card and I don't get the resources because that was from there. But now it's my go. What do I want to do? Do I want to buy some upgrades? Did that really cost only 2? Did. Wow, they get really expensive. Have I got these in the right order? Yeah, gosh. That extra movement one at 6 metal. Massive. Right, we got some cards. I might get some resources. Yeah. What does the wrench do? The wrench allows you to do presumably you get to do a build. Yeah, immediately receive 1 resource of your choice or build 1 upgrade for normal cost. Yeah, whenever you don't do a build, you can take a resource. I forgot to mention that. It is printed somewhere on the boards. Yeah, I think I'm going to take... cards on this one. I'm going to go to Sector 2 and I'm going to take cards. So let's have a look at what we get. I know that there's a wrench there. Okay, so it's only 1. So I get 1 water because of the card. I'm going to get this added to my deck. I get 1 card, and it's a secret tunnel. And I get the wrench. So I'm able to do an upgrade. And the upgrade I'm going to do is the weapons. Yeah. So the weapons are being upgraded. There you go. Okay. Because I'm going to try and do this at the end of the game. Have a big fight. Right, I think we're done. Next round. Is it book time? It's not book time. Is production. I spend 1 energy. I get 3 water. 1, 2, 3. Then we reveal 2 cards. So I reveal 1 card. Then I shuffle my deck. Reveal a 2nd card. Ooh, nice. So the 2 goes there, and I'm going to get 2. I'll take 2 project cards, actually. Yeah, I'll take 2 project cards. And the 3 is going to be used for the movement. Okay, so I've got 3 movement plus an extra 2 if I want it. I don't think I do. I think I'm happy with the 3 movement and I just go here. Or do we go here? This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's probably a bit greedy, isn't it? Although, look at the combat. No, we'll do that. We'll go 1, 2, 3 for the movement. So I get 2 metal as a find on the way through. And I've landed there. So I didn't need to use that. And I didn't need to use that. So I gain 4 energy. Now we have a combat. I already have 4 combat points. I only need 3. So I combat that city and I get 3 points. 3 points. There you go. Done. I've got 4 movement. Oh, I forgot. I have the extra 1 movement. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Let's put that back. Let's go with a change of plan. You're absolutely right. Let's put the energy back. I've got 3 plus 1. I've got 4 movement, and I could get 6. So I'm going to go with 6. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pick up 4 metal on the way. Okay, and now we're going to, so I don't get the energy because I used it for movement. And now I'm going to have a fight here, which requires 6 combat. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to spend an energy to get 5, 6. Yes, did it. Okay, so the cube goes on there instead, and I get 5 points. Nice. Nice. Right, now we go on to the solo board. The solo board is basically telling me I can do an upgrade or play a card. Well, we need more metal. We really need more metal. Just having a look at these cards. Yeah, that's not very good. I mean, that's quite nice. The Inventor, cards cost 1 water less. It's worth 7 points at the end of the game as well. Should have been thinking about this, shouldn't I? Because I can't do any upgrades because I don't have the metal. Yeah, I should have been saving the metal. So, and I don't want to miss out on this. And even this immediately build an airship upgrade for 1 metal less per mechanic. That's not going to work because I've only got 4 metal and I need 6. Right, now I'm just going to check the rule about building. Any player who cannot or chooses not to carry out a build action instead takes 1 resource of their choice from the general supply instead, repeat of the word instead, water, metal, energy, or a project card. You may use it for a potential second build. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to forego the first one and take a metal. And then for the second one, how much water have we got? I've got 8. Yeah, so for the second one, I'm going to play a card. It costs me 4 water and another card, and I'm going to throw that card away to play the mechanic. Immediately build an airship upgrade for 1 metal less per mechanic, including this one. So I'm going to spend 5 metal to upgrade this. Okay, that's it. So that's just an immediate one-off effect. It doesn't do anything else. Okay, and then it's my go. And what are we going to do in the city? Mechanical mechanism. Yes, we've been having that discussion on Twitter. And I've been having that discussion for a long time. Right, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to take resources. We're about to have another book action. Yeah, I need resources. We need more metal. We just need metal. Again, right, let's have a look at these cards. Which one do you think if I want metal? There doesn't appear to be much metal on here. There's a bit more on here, but not a lot. Whereas this one, I don't know. There's a tiny bit of metal that I can see. Which one do you think if I want the metal? And also, I'm adding the card to my deck. And I don't think I need the 4. I'd like this because this gives me 3 water. The other option is that you can choose water. I could actually just choose water because there's quite a lot of water on this. Not sure. I think I might take this one. I'm going to take Sector 1 and I'm going to go for water. Right, let's see what we get. Okay, awesome. I chose correctly. I got 3 water and I can do a navigation update. And I get 3 water for the card as well. So I've just gained 6 water. That's pretty awesome. 6 water, done. I get a navigation update. That card goes to my deck. Do I want to use the navigation update? I do not. You don't have to use it because these cards are all good. So I'm not going to use it. Right. Okay. So that was me. Yeah. We're good to go. Next round. Production. Do I want to spend 1 energy for 3 water? I do. Right, now we got lots of water. And now we do another book action. Sorry, it should have been book action before that, so I don't have the 3 water yet. So during the next book, each player can carry out the combat shown below. I'm going to. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 combat points. Oh, I don't have much energy. Oh, no, in fact, I haven't used that energy yet, have I? Yeah, I'm going to have to. I really would like this, because that's awesome. Should have got more energy. So we've got 4 combat points. We need another 3. I'm spending 1 energy, and I've drawn a 3. Awesome. Right. Whew. So we've done the 7 combat. I get 4 points, and I can either have 3 cards or 3 water. I'm going to take 3 water, and then we do production, and I'm going to spend 1 energy for 3 water. Did I already add the 3 water or not? I know I've done a couple of undos there. If anybody would like to just check and correct me if I did it wrong. I know I took the 3 water, then I undid it. I don't know if I took the 3 water back. All say no, but I don't know what no means. Should I have 16 water or should I have 13 water? I took it back off camera. Okay, thank you. And now I've just added it back on again. So we're good. That was production. Right, cards. Let's have a look. So 1 and a 2. So the 1 is either a card or water. I'm going to take a card at this point. Oh, it's a parrot. And the 2 is how many movement points we get. So we have 2 movement points plus 2. We have 4 movement points plus a potential extra 2. And I want to go to Eden. I don't need that anymore. Oh, no, I do. Yeah, I'll leave it on there. So we can, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, let's just do 5. So I've got 4. Use the solar panels for movement and use the drivetrain for energy. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 3 points, because points are good. Oh, I didn't read the other side. Yeah, hang on. I didn't read the other side of the story card. You were supposed to do that and then read the reverse side. So apologies for that. Have at least half of the players won the combat? Yes. Add L3 to B. L3 goes on B. Well, that's exactly the same. Oh, no, it's not. It's making it easier. Then read story card 15. Story card 15, chapter 2. Sam isn't actually your brother by blood. When he was 12, he lost his parents in the chaos that followed the change. You lost your parents in the change too. Mother took in Sam, just like you and several other orphans. You never did learn Mother's proper name. Without her, you would have probably all ended up with Cloud. Even as a youngster, Sam built all kinds of crazy things out of scrap metal and old batteries. Help him finally set up a workshop on his own. Add project card 2, face up to the city board. Okay. Oh, that's this. This is Sam. Face up to the city board. Give the card to the first player who selects a region that contains exactly 2 goods. Okay, right. So that's going there. Somebody's going to get that card. Right. And then at the next book action, this happens. So sorry, I'd forgotten to do that. Now we've done the movement. Now we do the cards. Now we do the movement. I got the 3 points. Now we're doing a fight, and I need 5 combat. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I spend an energy for another card, and there it is. We're done. Put a cube on the city. I get 5 water and 2 cards. Okay, so that's 21 water. Okay, so now we do action phase. So this goes down. I can choose either sectors 1 or 3. So let's have a look. Sector 1 or 3. And if I choose a region that contains exactly 2 goods, I get Sam. And I think it goes into your hand. Yeah. It's not good at this stage in the game. Be good later on. How am I doing for upgrades? I've got 5. I'm doing all right for upgrades. So anyway, we want 2 of something. And I don't want to pick the one with the most, because if I pick the one with the most, I don't get anything. I'm not sure. I might go for energy on the middle one. Yeah, you're saying sector 1 energy. I think that's more than 2. I think that might be 3, which means I'll get nothing. So I'm going to choose energy. Oh, no, I can't choose sector 2. I can only choose 1 or 3. I can just about see a bit of orange there. So I'm actually going to choose cards on sector 3. So let's see where we get. There you go. Cards on sector 3. It's a 2. So I get this card, and I think it goes into my hand. Great, and I get 2 cards. And I get to do a navigation update, and I'm going to get rid of this one. I do not want that card in my deck anymore. That's not mine, is it? No. Right, now it's my go. What do I want to do? Well, I've got 21 water, so I think I'm going to be playing some cards. Yes, let's play some cards. Now, what do all these new cards do? Parrot. You may place a new navigation card onto the draw pile. Oh, okay, so whenever you get a new navigation card, it can go in your draw pile. It's a bit late for that. Combat video is quite good. We've got Sam. I think it's a bit late for Sam. We've got another parrot. Yeah, I think... I'm going to play the care package. Why am I playing a card? Remind me, why am I thinking of playing a card right now? Because I haven't chosen an action yet. I think that's what I'm doing. I just didn't put my thing on there. Right, so I'm playing 2 cards. I haven't got metal. Metal. Oh. Need the metal to try and get one more upgrade. Anyway, I'm doing that. 13 water. So that's all of that, all of that, all of that, and that. So 13 water and a card that I don't want, which is going to be the parrot. Sorry. I get 10 points immediately. And 2 steps up on the production. Okay, there you go. It's not worth any points at the end of the game, that one. So that's my first one. My second one, again, I could forego it. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play this one. This is a grappler. Costs 5 water and another card. And on any turn I get a metal, I get an extra metal. Could be quite useful. Let's get rid of the parrot. There you go. Okay, we're done. Next round. Book. It's not book time. So production. Do I want to spend 2 energy to get 4 water and a point? Yes. Yes, I do. 4 water and a point. 27 points. Right, next. 2 cards. Nothing in the deck, so we're going to reshuffle. I passed the bonus on the production track. You're right, I did. I get 2 cards. I forgot about that. I was just thinking about that earlier on, how it's like Expedition to Newdale. There are certain rewards on this track that you get when you pass them. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Right, 2 cards. We have a 1 and a 3. So the 1 means that I get 1 energy or a card. I'll take energy. And the 3 is how many movement points I've got. Plus 2, so I've got 5 base movement points. I can have an extra 2 if I want to. Now I've already been to 2 of the cities, so I don't need to go anywhere else. And I definitely want the metal. So how many movements did I say I had? 5. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 8 combat. But it's 6 points. 8 combat seems a lot. But I will have the energy. Or will I? The 3's gone. It's a bit risky. 8 combat is a bit risky. So, 5 movement by default. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to have an extra movement, which means I get 2 energy. And I found 2 metal. I get 3 points and 2 metal. 3 points, 2 metal. Yes. Okay, and we're having a combat of 5. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to spend 1 energy to flip a card. That goes on there. I get the reward of 5 points. 35 points. Okay. Okay, we're good. Action phase. So first of all, this goes down here, and I get 2 points, or I play a card. So do I want to play a card? Yeah, I do. I'm going to spend 4 water and another card, which is going to be Sam. Sorry, Sam, but maybe next game. And I'm going to play an EMP blaster for another combat point. So my base combat points are now 5. Okay, so that's that done. Then it's my go. I need to get some resources. I need to get some more metal to try and unlock one of these other upgrades. So let's have a look at the sectors. And that one would actually get me 3 water as well. So I'm going to go metal in sector 3. And let's see what we get. Okay, metal in sector 3 is all right. It's 2 metal. And it is an upgrade if I want to. But I don't have enough metal. So I will forego that upgrade and take a metal instead. I think that's how it works. I get 3 water for the card. And it goes to my discard pile. Right. We are done. It is now the last round. So, book. Yes, we have a book. Do I have 6 water? Oh, I do, just. That was by luck rather than judgment. Did that give me a production bump? You're right, well spotted. Production bump, which gets me the 2 water. Well spotted. Okay, so I spent the 6 water. I get 5 points. I get 3 cards or 3 energy. I don't really need any cards, so I'm going to take the energy and read the reverse side. Right, have at least half the players carried out the action? Yes. Sam is excited about his new workshop in Promise, and he's very disappointed that you threw him away to the discard pile. No, it doesn't say that. Add L4 to G. Where's G? G. Okay. And then read story card 16. Story card 16. Put this card next to the victory point track. Okay. The winner reads the reverse side. Okay, I'm just going to put it there. But that's basically the end of this chapter as far as the storyline goes. The winner gets to read the other side of the card. Okay, so let's reveal our 2 cards. Oh, production. Do I want to spend 3 energy for 2 points and 4 water? Yes. 4 water, 2 points. There you go. Okay. 2 cards. We've got a 2 and a 3. So the 2 means that I'll have 2 energy. And the 3 is 3 movement points. Now, where do we want to go? Our base combat points are 5. We could potentially get a big fight. Oh, we can easily get a big fight. Yeah, but I do want to pick up the metal on the way. So yeah, here's what I want to do. My default movement is 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get a point and a metal, which doubles to 2 metal. Okay. And then we're doing combat here. Oh, you're right. That's only 7. I do need 8 metal, but that's fine because I'm going to forego my first build to get a metal. So I'm okay. I'm okay. So yeah, combat. I need 8. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, did I miss energy for my movement? I did. I mowed 4 energy because I only went 1, 2. Where did I go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mowed 4 energy. Right. So my combat is 5. Spend an energy to make it 6, 7. And then spend 2 energy to make it 8, 9. Okay, so there you go. Done that. That cube goes on. I get 6 points. And we're on 49 points. Right, okay, so now we go into the action phase. We get the final one, which is it both of those? You may either collect resources in Sector 3 or carry out a build action. Right, I don't want resources, so I'm going to carry out the build action. I'm going to forego the build action to take a metal. And then on my go, I'm going to choose the build action, and I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 resources and 5 water to upgrade that. Okay, and as my second build, yeah, doesn't matter. I don't have a card that costs 1 water. No, I'll just take a water. Right, I know I could have probably got resources from there and then done something different, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm happy with that. We are done. So now I do the missions. So I've never used missions before. Oh, you have 1 production and 2 builds after the final round. I'd forgotten that. I'd completely forgotten that. Right. In which case, I probably should have got resources from Sector 3. Yeah, okay. So slight undo. Instead of building there, I'm going to take resources from Sector 3, and I'm going to take metal. Let's have a look at what it would have been. It was 2 metal, right? I don't think this will change anything that much. So instead of foregoing the action to get 1 metal, I chose resources and got 2 metal. So it's an extra metal. Then on my turn, instead of doing the build, I would have gone here to get energy and got 3 energy and 3 water. And that card goes there. Okay, and then the game's over, and then at the end of the game, I get a production action, which is 3 energy for 2 points and 4 water, and then I get it to do 2 builds. And the first build was that one, and the second build will be something that gets me points. I'm getting 5 water for the last upgrade. It didn't cost water. Oh, Of course. Right. Okay, so I'm owed 10 water. Yeah, there you go. Right, loads of water. What do we want to buy? We'll probably buy the one that gets me worth 7 points at the end of the game. Yeah, I'll buy the card that gets me 7 points at the end of the game for 10 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, okay, there you go. Now we're done. I should have 10 more water. Yes, okay. So we're all good. I've got plenty of stuff left at the end. Scoring. I guess we do the scoring. Right, okay. So end of game scoring is your most developed one of these tiles. So that's 11 for that, plus 4 for that is 15. Okay. Grey points on these upgrade cards here. So that's 3, 6, 8, 11, 13, 20. Okay, so that's that done. Missions. Yeah. So I get 6 points for that. I get 5 points for that. And what was the bottom one? I guess that's for how. Oh, I do a combat at the end of the game. Okay, so I do a combat? I actually do a combat. Okay, so my combat is 6. Okay, let's see how long we get. Cubes on the ale tiles can give points as well. Yes, I get 3 points for that one. So I'm doing a combat. So my combat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I spend an energy. 7, 8. Spend 2 energy. 9. I spend 2 energy. 10, 11, 12. So just shy. It's another 8 points. It's all right. That's 108. Okay, so I think we're done. I think I've done all 3 missions. So I did the missions. I did the cubes on the cities. I did my upgrades. And I did my cards. Right, I think that is it. I think that is a final score of 108. And then what we do is we look that up. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, no, that's scenario 2 and 3. I was going to say, it says have a score of at least 110. So, chapter 2, I scored 108, which is 4 stars. Check that out. 4 stars. So I'm not going to fill this in. But anybody who watched part 1 of my video, let me know how many stars I got in that. But that's not bad. That is 4 stars. So, brilliant. Okay, now, it's 9:15. The plan was, tonight, to do 2 games. Because I normally stream for about 2 or 3 hours on a Friday night. And I don't have any other plans this evening. So, it's going to be a twofer. We are going to go into chapter 3. The other reason I want to go into chapter 3 as well, for those of you who are who have watched part 1 and part 2, who don't know the game, chapter 3 is going to introduce some extra rules, okay? Which is placing these growth tiles on the board, and it's about turning the land back green again. It's a big part of the game, I believe, and we're going to do that. Now, if you want to grab a coffee or a break or stretch your legs, if you can pop to the toilet for me as well, that would be great, because I could do with a loo. And there's a piece of carrot cake in our fridge as well. If somebody wouldn't mind popping around, getting the carrot cake and bringing me that, that'd be fantastic. I'm going to reset the game. So this is going to take me a few minutes, obviously. I did all of this off camera for the first game, but you're now going to see how it works. So there's the seven cards that make up the deck. The city cards, there's a big pile of city cards. Okay. Where are the rest of the city cards? Don't knock the water over, Paul. Right, so there's a big deck of city cards, and what you do is you give them a shuffle. Oh, Paul ate the cake. Well, I thought I heard noises downstairs earlier. Yeah, we need to train Thor to go and get some get some desserts. Story card. Thank you. Yes. Sam is excited. Workshop or not, I have developed a machine that makes plants more robust. I call it the Plant Enhancer. Not very original. Even the initial results will let you plant trees and slowly start regenerating small areas. But I have much bigger plans. Let me tell you about my vision. Project Hope. Right, preview of action of Chapter 3. Next time on CloudAge, a new action is available, placing new growth. This lets areas of the game board be revegetated. Cleanup. Put all legacy tiles and story card 17 into the tick bag. So there is a tick bag. Okay, so the legacy tiles, presumably that are on the board, they are going to carry forward to the next game. Okay, and story card 17, which is that one. So they would go in the bag. Right, okay. Thank you for that. I had forgotten that. Anyway, we were doing the city cards, weren't we? City cards, yeah. So you shuffle all the city cards. And we're going to use the other side of these. And we're going to use 8 per sleeve. And the discussion earlier on about whether this is a deck building game or not, I obviously didn't see that discussion because I was busy streaming. But I hope you had a good discussion, found it useful. I'll tell you why, since you're with us, right? I've just started a new series of videos. There's going to be one every couple of months, and it's a series of top 10 videos. The first one is on the channel right now, so if you're watching this video, please go and check out my first one, because to be honest, it's been disappointing in terms of number of views. I know lots of other people do top 10 videos and get thousands and thousands and thousands of views. I did the top 10 video and yeah, it's kind of gone mostly unnoticed. So thank you very much to everybody who has watched it. But yeah, please go and check that out. It's the start of a new series of top 10 videos. And one of the future top 10 videos is going to be deck building games. It's going to be the top 10 deck building games. Okay. Now, it's not going to be my top 10. It's going to be my Patreon supporters voting on their top 10 deck building games. The special guest, if Mike is still here, I'm going to have Mike Fitzgerald on as the special guest. And basically, Mike, I was going to email you and say, are you okay with that as a topic? Or would you like a different topic? So yeah, I don't know. That one might be with Mike Fitzgerald. If it's not, another one will be with Mike instead. And basically, yeah, the question is going to be, what's your top 10 deck building games? And in my opinion, I think we need to include every game that has a deck building element, right? Whether it be Dominion, whether it be Aeon's End, whether it be CloudAge or Mage Knight or anything like that. And if you don't think this is a deck building game, I understand that. I absolutely understand that. But if I ask my Patreon supporters to give me their top 5 deck building games, how many actual deck building games are there? I mean, I know there's a lot, but if you cut out Great Western Trail and you cut out this and you cut out Mage Knight, you're really, really limiting it. And yeah, Sten has just put the thing in the chat that I was about to say next. Bag building. Bag building is a form of deck building. It is, certain bag building games are identical to deck building games in terms of their core mechanisms. It's just a bag with stuff in instead of a deck of cards. And I think I'm going to include that as well. So it's going to be a top 10 on deck building games, but it's going to include any game with a deck building element, which also includes any game with a bag building element. Because if I didn't include those, there would be so few games to choose from. Yes, you would include, deck stroke bank building games. But I think calling it deck building games, Orleans, Altiplano, those sorts of things. Exactly right. Okay, so we're setting up for chapter 3. So let's have a look at the game board state. Is it different? So it's 1A, and you can choose freely from the remaining boards. Just make sure to lay that right. Okay, we're going to do it random. We are going to do it random because these boards are double-sided. So we're going to use a random side of each board. How we do this, I'm just going to keep flipping them over randomly, mixing them up. Right, let's lay them out. Can't even see the number now. 2A, right, so we're using 2A, which was the same as last time. We're using 3A, which was the same as last time. And we're using 4A. So we're using exactly the same as last time. But there you go, that's fine. And I guess we put these on. Yeah, because the board has changed. The world has evolved. Yeah, Devil's Fork, it's interesting. So because we fought the people in Devil's Fork, they're now weaker. I like that. I know I am a fan of Alexander Pfister, but I will say that what he has done with introducing campaign and legacy elements to existing board games, I think is fantastic. In this and Maracaibo, very, very good. Expedition to Newdale, not so much. But the difference with Expedition to Newdale is there's 8 different maps in the game. So instead of a map, which evolves as the game goes on, you've actually got 8 completely different maps. So, you know, it's just a different take on it. Pool building, says Patrick. Oh, where do you draw the line? That's a good question. I think it would I'd have to limit it to, deck building and bag building rather than pool building. I think so, if I understand your terminology correctly. Okay, we're going to get a mission card at the start of the game. We have that one. So that's for having cards and combat at the end of the game. We've had that one before. Okay, all of these project cards are getting shuffled together. Johan dislikes the campaign element of games. Well, the good thing is it's optional. You can play this game just as it is. You don't have to play the campaign at all. I think it's quite cool that you play one game and then the board changes and then the next game's slightly different. So yeah, I like that. 2 water, 2 metal. We have a new side of our player board with these upgrades on, and I've not played this before, so this is going to be new to me, and there are some rules that I am going to have to read before we actually play. We've done that, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. I think we're ready to go. Energy. 2 energy. There you go. Rene's here. Hi, Rene. Dice Settlers from David Turtsey also has a bag building part. It does. It does. Right. So, what we're going to do with chapter 3. Am I going to read the rules on growth when it happens? We need the other side of the city board. Yeah, because there is a new action now over here. Right, starting 5 cards. We have a capacitor. Oh, that's quite good. We have an EMP blaster. We have a master blaster. We have Rollo, which is a promo card. Oh, interesting. So you spend 4 metal and 2 cards and you get a card. Right, okay. And we have a grappler. Okay, so we know those cards. Right. What else is there to do in setup? I think that's it. Yeah, okay. So chapter 3. Are we ready? Sam fills you in on his plans. I dream of a giant forest that restores our climate. I call my vision Project Hope. The plant enhancer is the only way to make it a reality. To build the larger version, I need help and materials though. An electronics expert and a botanist will be essential, along with a whole lot of titanium. When the story continues, read the reverse of the card. Right, okay, so when we get to here, we're going to read the reverse of the card. Oh, new stuff. Oh, wait a minute. 2 to 3. Does that mean we don't use that cube in the solo game? Oh, no, you do. You do use it in a solo game. You don't use it in a 4-player game. Is that right? Where is it? 11. With 1 to 3 players, place 8 markers. Yeah, so that should say 1 to 3 rather than 2 to 3. Yeah, so in a 4-player game, you leave that area empty. Okay, right, I think we're good to go. Sam the Undiscardable. Is the capacitor an electrolyte or a... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Have a look at the picture. See if you can work out what type of capacitor it is from the picture. Because that doesn't look like a capacitor to me. Not as I understand capacitors. Anyway, we're ready. I'm really hungry and I can't wait to go and get carrot cake after this. Have I got a Jaffa cake nearby? No. I ate all the Jaffa cakes after my victory in Maracaibo yesterday. Yes, my victory, which then, thanks to Renee pointing out the 72 rules mistakes I made, actually turned into a loss. But never mind. Thank you for pointing out those mistakes. I very much appreciate it and I will get better for next time. Right, deck. We need to shuffle the deck. So, is there a book event? No. Production. I will spend 1 energy to get 2 water. I could have started with 8 cards and discarded 3. Oh, right. Okay, so it's 8 and 3. Where's that then? Where does it say that? Oh, yeah. Draw 8 and choose 5. Okay, right. Well, let's have a look. We've got a little imp here, another grappler, and a propeller. Well, the propeller kind of combos with the capacitor. We'll go for that. There's 2 different types of grapplers. One of them increases my production, but is more expensive and worth fewer points. But we'll go for that one. We'll take Rollo because it's a promo card. And we're going to take the Master Blaster. Right, okay, there you go. So there's the 5 cards. Thank you very much. Yeah, so it's draw 8 and choose 5. I was just thinking when I drew 5 that it seems odd that you don't get a choice. And there we go. It's because I was playing it wrong. Right, so we're done. I spent the energy. I got the 2 water. I'm drawing my 2 cards. Off we go. Ross did very well at Bonfire the other day, only to realise that at the end you had about twice as many cards as you were allowed. Oops. Oh, 0 and 1. Well, let's get the rubbish cards out of the way first. Okay, so in fact you can't see that. Let's put that the other way around. Because you don't need to see the deck. You need to see the card, not the deck. Right. So we have 1 movement point. How rubbish is that? Very is the answer. So I will have to use the solar panel for the extra movement point. Oh no, I don't. I could go there. Yeah. No, I'm going to have the 1 movement point. Oh no, that's in the same city. All of these are in the same city. Yeah, so 1 movement point to there, and I'll use the solar panels to generate 2 energy. Okay, done. Combat. I don't have any native combat points, so I'm going to have to spend 1 energy to buy a combat point. There you go. Done. Put a cube on. Done. And then actions. So the solo player does that. So I can either play a card or do an upgrade. And I think I can't do any. No, I can't do any because I don't have the right amount of resources. So I'm just going to take a metal. Okay, then it's my go, and what do we want to do? Do we want to get some resources? I think we do. We need resources, don't we? Oh no, I could have done an upgrade. Hang on. I could have done an upgrade. It costs 2, and I've got 2 metal. Yeah, let's have the movement point upgrade. Let's go for that. Right, okay. So now I'm going to get resources. And I'm having a look at the cards again. Now there's a wrench on there. I don't want a wrench at the moment because I don't have enough metal. Yeah, okay. I'm going to choose this one because I can see that there is a navigation update there on the metal. So I'm going to choose to gain resources. Oh, there is another action. Oh, you get growth tiles. I forgot to take my reward for winning the combat. Yes, and you also start the game with growth tiles, which I completely forgot about. So, apologies for that, but in Chapter 3... Chapter 3 and onwards, each player is supposed to start with, I think... Yeah, give each player 2 water, 2 metal, and 2 growth tiles from the bag. So the bag is filled with growth tiles, and I'm supposed to start with 2 of them. Okay, right. Now, putting growth on the board is another action that you can do. But I don't think I'm going to do that at the moment. I think I'm going to get resources. And what were we going to do? We were going to go here and choose metal. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go here and we're going to choose metal. So let's have a look at the card. It's only 1. Okay, so I get 1 metal, but I do get to do a navigation update, which will be to get rid of the 0. So that's gone. And then I take this card and I get a growth tile. I'll read what these growth tiles do in a minute. And that card goes into my discard pile. Right. Are we all good? Is that the end of round 1? Oh, that's why it's got 2 growth tiles there. Is it? No, I don't know what that is for. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, 2 types of growth tiles. 1 type go on the board, the other is just bonus resources. Yes, I remember reading something about that, and I don't know if I'm allowed to look at the other side or not. But yeah, I'll read the rules for growth tiles in a minute. So round 2, effectively. It's not a book yet. Production. I will spend 1 energy to gain 2 water. Water's going up. That's good. Draw 2 cards. Now, we know the 0s have gone, which is good. We've got a 2 and a 2. So I get 2 energy. And I've got 2 movement points plus 1. I've got 3 movement points. I'm going to get an extra movement point with the solar panel. So I've got 4 movement points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 2 project cards. So I have the base ability to play 2 growth tiles, which can be upgraded. Oh, right. Okay. When you're placing growth tiles, you can place 2 or more. If you upgrade, you can flip the growth tile. Okay, I can flip these. Thank you. Right. Okay, so I've got 2 more project cards. And we're now here, and we're having a combat. It's 3. Now, I do know what these 2 cards are. And one of them is a 3. So, we're going to have a combat. We have no default combat strength. I spend 1 energy. Yay, I got the 3. Take that, cloud people. That goes on there, and I get 4 water. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay, so that's that bit done, that's that bit done. Now we go to the action phase. So this goes down. So I can get resources from Sector 1 or Sector 2. Well, there's metal here, but I think that metal's... there could be a lot of metal. It's a bit risky. But I think I'm going to take it. Yes, placing growth tiles is this action here. I just haven't done that yet. But I think I'm going to take metal from here. And let's take a Let's take a bit of a risk. I hope this isn't a 3. It's not. Oh, but it's not even the... Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay. So I misread that. That's actually in the brown area. Never mind, I get 2 metal. That's all right. We'll have that. And that card goes. And now it's my action. So at this point, I am now going to read the rules on growth tiles because I can do it. Which is planting new growth. So if I wanted to, you've now got 3 actions. You can either collect resources, build stuff, or you can use this action here, which is planting growth. Place your drone on the plant new growth. From the new growth tiles you have collected, select as many as you are able to plant based on the planting abilities of your airship, which is 2. And then depending on the new type of growth, either add the tile to the game board or return it to the bag. Your fellow players may do something else. Once all players have finished their actions, return your drone to the loading dock. When planting new growth, first count up your planting ability. So as you say, planting ability by default is 2. The number of those symbols is the maximum number of new growth tiles you can choose and plant from your personal supply. Then take the rewards indicated for each tile. You can take them in any order as you choose. Right, okay. So that can be increased, presumably. Oh, with these upgrades. Aha, right, gotcha. Okay, right, 2 types of growth. Wilted ones, get the reward, put the tile back in the bag. The green ones, you score the points and you actually put the tile on the board on a suitable space. It must be empty, not part of a city, and it must be adjacent to where your airship is or connected to your airship via already planted spaces. If you cover a find, you get the reward, but the find is then no longer available for another player. Right. Okay, should we do that at this stage? Or should I be doing other things? I think I should be doing other things at this stage. Because I need to play cards for my mission. Okay, so we've read about the growth tiles. Thank you very much, Marielle. And we do need combat points. Yeah, because we've got no combat points. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do the growth. And I'm not going to do the resources. I'm just going to do 2 builds. So the first build is going to be to upgrade the weapons. That's that. And the second build is going to be... I don't know what that noise is outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but they've been doing some work on the motorway near us the last few evenings, and there's very strange noises coming from it. Oh, I could have played the mechanic. Oh. I think we'll go for the finding metal again. Or do we go for the extra movement point? Oh, this is tricky. Where next turn, I'm going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5 movement next turn. I'm not going to get 5 movement next turn, am I? No chance. So I'm going to play the propeller, which costs 8 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And another card. Difficult decisions time. Not. Right, that goes on there. That was it. That's the end of the round. Okay, so next round. The book. Read the reverse side. Here we go. You have heard of Sophia, the electronics expert. Apparently, she worked on agricultural technology even before the change. Sam is adamant that he needs her for Project Hope. Right, we have a choice. Back to the chat. Okay, interactive choice time. We need to decide as a group how we're going to convince her. So option A, tell Sophia about the revolutionary plant enhancer and convince her that Project Hope can become a reality. If you want me to do that, put A. Thank you for the production upgrade. I forgot. Option B, pay Sophia with water. So it's up to you in the chat, option A or B. A is basically tell her about it and tell her it's going to be brilliant, brilliant. Or option B, pay her with water. And what do you want me to do? A or B? Right, we have 2 votes for A. Yeah, how much water? We don't know. We do not know. It doesn't say. So we have 4 votes for A. Currently none for B. Come on, B. Come on, B. Okay, 5 votes for A. 6 votes for A. I'm getting a trend here. I think we're going to go with A. Unless we suddenly get 7 votes for B in the next 30 seconds, then it's going to be A. Right, A. Story card 18. Story card 18. A greenhouse has opened in Whitehaven. Maybe you can convince Sophia to support Project Hope once she sees that the revegetation has already begun. Add L5 to the game board. Where's L5? Hmm. 2, 7, 13, 8, 6, 11, 10, 12, 9. Where's L5? No, Jason, can't go B. Adam's here as well. Hi, Adam. Yeah, Jason's trying to vote 10 times. That doesn't work. Ben tried that on the contest to win too many bones. I spotted it, though. I can't find L5. We've got L4, L1, L3. The 1, 3 and 4's there. There it is. Hiding. Okay, so this is Whitehaven, C. Where is C? There. Okay, so Whitehaven. Rule. If you have a marker in Whitehaven, you can remove it from the game during the yellow phase. It's not called the yellow phase, is it? It's called the action phase. To place 1 new growth. If you didn't use it, score 2 points at the end of the game. Shuffle project cards 3 into the draw pile. Aha, right, project cards 3, which is all of these ones. Now that's interesting because is Whitehaven, is that going to cover up those values? So there's no combat there anymore. That doesn't seem right. Anybody know in the chat, is that going to cover up there so it's no longer combat? Maybe it is. Yeah. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Unless anybody says otherwise. And at the next book phase, if we can plant 4 things, we get 3 points. Okay. You cover it up. Yeah. So there is no longer any cloud pirates there. Okay. So that was the book. That was done. Next, production. Spend 1 energy to get 3 water. Yes, please. Right, 2 cards. I'm revealing 1, and then I'm going to shuffle my deck. And 2. Oh, right, okay. So we have 1 something, which I'll take as energy, and 3 movement points, plus 1, plus 1. We have 5 movement points. Isn't that exactly what we needed? I think it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, getting me 3 metal. Now, do we go to Devil's Fork or Lightsville? I only have 1 combat, and I've drawn me 3, so I'm going to go to Devil's Fork. So combat, I have a combat, and you don't have to fight them. So I could go there and just not fight. But actually, I want to go to Whitehaven probably next turn. Do I want to go to Whitehaven next turn? I don't know. I don't know where I'm trying to get to this game. I don't have any objectives to go to certain places. So, yeah, no, I'll just go to Devil's Fork. And I am going to do combat. So I've got 1 combat point. I spend 1 energy, reveal a card, done. Won the fight. That goes on there. I get 3 water. Check the chat to see if I've missed anything. Okay, done. Action phase. Paul is either frozen or concentrating really hard on reading. No, is it going okay? My stream looks okay. I'm waving around. Is it working? Hopefully it's working. Because I'm not watching the stream, but I am watching what I should be broadcasting. So yeah, it's all okay. It just looked like I'd fallen asleep. Right, okay, so my go. No, it's this. So I can either do an upgrade or get 2 points. I'm going to do this upgrade. I'm going to do the planting new growth. Okay, so I'm going to do that. But I need to do this one before the next book phase. Okay, and then it's my go. And what do I want to do here? I think I want to get more resources still. And I'm looking at these and I'm thinking that there's metal on there. So I'm going to go with metal in sector 1 and we get 2 metal. That's all right. 2 metal. Happy with that. We get the card, we get a new growth, and we add a 3 card to our area. Okay, right. That was me. That's it. That's end of the round. Oh, give each player a mission card. I missed that. There's something on here. I should have had another mission card. Apologies. Right, we got this one. So, this is for visiting Revolt Town, Nefaria, and Cruelfield. Well, we know where Cruelfield is. Nefaria's there. And where's Revolt Town? Revolt Town's here. I don't think we're going to do that. So I'm going to cover that up like that. So they are the 3 missions that I've got for this game. Right. Okay, so I had forgotten to do that. That's the action phase done. We're in the next round. Are we in the next round? Yeah, I think we're in the next round. Yeah, so production. I spend 1 energy to get 3 water. I've got hardly any energy. Okay. Draw the 2 cards. I'm going to have to use the solar panels, aren't I? A 1 and a 2. So I'll use the 1 to get energy and the 2 to get movement. And with that and that, that's 4 movement. I have 4 movement points. Where do I want to go? I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to get the metal on there, and then I'm going to go to Whitehaven. There is no fight at Whitehaven. I just put a cube on the board, and I can remove that at any time to plant a growth. And this is something new that's on the B side of the board. Whenever you remove a cube from a space, I think you get the bonus of that space. So I get a metal. I think that's right. And yes, I put the discarded card on the deck. Thank you, because I'm so used to the discards being on the left. Yeah, thank you very much, Mark and Kyle. So yeah, so we've done that, that's that done. Now we're on the action phase, so that goes down. I get a card from Sector 2. So I get resources from Sector 2. So looking at that, I probably don't want to take cards because I can see a big brown area on here. So I think I'm just going to take metal. Or do I take water? There's not much water on there. But I do like my metal. Yeah, I'm going to take the metal. So metal from Sector 2 is 1. Okay, it's all right. I get 1 metal. Okay, now it's my action. Now, again, do I want to plant growth or do we want to build? I think we want to build because we've got so much stuff. I am going to spend 3 to upgrade that. That's 1 done. And then I am going to play the capacitor. So it costs me 6 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I have at least 5 or 7 movement points in the movement phase, I take the appropriate reward. Do I get any production bonus on that? No. But I do have to throw away a card to play it. So I'm going to throw away the mechanic. Okay, done. Did me 2 upgrades. Next round, book. We're not at a book. Production. Oh, look at the energy. So little energy. I spend an energy and get 3 water. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I kind of am. Right, 2 cards. It is the last 2 cards in the deck. It's a 1 and a 3. So I get 1 energy and I get 3 movement plus 1 plus another 1 is 5, which means I get, oh, now I do need to reveal it. Yeah. Which means I get 3 water. Okay, so the capacitor you cannot tuck under because the information is actually there. Okay, there you go. So I got 5 movement. At least I could use the solar panel to get 6, but where's 5 going to get me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll do that. So I am going to use the solar panel for movement. I'm going to go 1, 2, get the find, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I get 1 point. It's my first point. Get 2 metal, and we've landed here. And we need to have a fight, and we need 3 combat. Well, we don't need to have the fight. Oh, this might not work. This might not work. Oh, I could put it upside down. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Takes a bit less space. Just means reading upside down. So if I have the fight, I need 3. I've got 1. I'm going to need to draw a 2. If I fail, I don't think I'm going to have the fight. No, I'm not going to have the fight. I'm going to chicken out. I'm not going to fight them. You still put a cube on the board anyway. And I get 2 growth tiles or 2 cards for doing that. I'm going to take growth tiles because I am going to be placing some of these on the board soonish, he says. Right, actions. So I get to either do an upgrade or play a card and then do an upgrade or play a card. Well, we could really go for it with this growth stuff. Or we could go for the extra movement. What do we think? Do we want to put the production up? I need more energy. What we need, I'm really not getting much in the way of energy. I don't have any solar panels. I'm probably going to have to pay this Master Blaster. Because we're going to need more combat at some point. So yeah, my first upgrade is going to be 6 metal to upgrade my engines. That's that. And then my second one is going to be 10 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And another card, which is going to be... it's going to be Rollo, I'm afraid. Sorry, Rollo. For the Master Blaster. So that's those 2. And then on my go, what am I going to do? Am I going to place growth? I haven't done it before, so I think I'm going to. Right, I am going to place growth, and I get to place 4 growth on the board. And if I put the green ones, I get the points and I get the fines. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. So I get 4 points and 4 metal. Tell me if I'm doing this right or wrong. All right. And these other growth ones, I just put back in the bag, and I can take either 4 cards or 4 water. So they go back in the bag, and I take 8 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In fact, I haven't got much in the way of cards. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take 4 water and 4 cards. Correct, but you'd put them green side up. Good point. Looks nicer. Okay, so I get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we got a solar panel. Right. And was there any production bonus on that? There wasn't. Okay, done. So that's the action. That's finished. End of round. Next round, book. There is a book. All players with the ability to plant at least 4 new growth scores 3 points. Huzzah! And then we read the reverse side of the card. Right, have at least half of the players the ability to plant 4 or more new growth. Yes. Read story card 20. 20. Right. Sophia agrees to work on Project Hope. Hooray! Add Project Card 4 face up to the city board. This is Sophia. Big hair. Give the card to the first player who selects a region that contains exactly 2 goods. You hear rumours that a large source of metal is located near Nefaria. Okay, right. We're done. That goes there, that goes there, that's that. Production. I will spend 1 energy to get 3 water. I haven't got much energy in this game at all. Cards. Right, we've got a 1 and a 1, which is rubbish. So the 1 is going to be for energy. The other one is going to be for movement. So I've got 1 movement, 2, 3, 4. I will use the solar panels for 5 movement, which gets me 3 water. Right, I got 5 movement. Got to end in a city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have 3 combat points natively. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fly over Pleasuresville, say hi to the pirates on the way, get no bonuses on the way, but I can do combat there because I have 3 combat points. So I get 5 water. Yeah, Sophia's a good card. Sophia's a very good card. Right, there you go. Got loads of water. That's that done. The cube's gone on. Actions. So I can take resources from either Sector 1 or 3. What do we want? We need energy. I can take it from 1 or 3. I think I'm going to go with 3, and I'm going to go with energy. Yeah, I'm going to go Sector 3, energy. Oh, nice. So I get 2 energy and I can do a navigation update and get rid of that annoying 1. Right, okay, that's done. Oh, and it was 2. Yeah, it was 2 energy, which means I get Sophia. Excellent. Right, my go. Which of these 3 actions do we want to do? Well, we don't want to plant growth because I've only got 2 tiles and I can plant 4 tiles. And I want to be efficient. So, I mean, I could play Sophia. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do 2 upgrades because I've got so much water. So we're going to do Sophia. We got 7 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 water and another card, which will be I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay. Receive either 1 movement point or 3 energy. Nice. Oh, was there a production upgrade on that? There wasn't. Okay. I'm not doing well with the production upgrades this game. And I'm going to play an EMP blaster 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 water and another card, which is going to be that one. Okay, so there's my 2 upgrades, and that is the end of the round. Yeah. Okay, next round. Book. No book. Production. Spend 1 energy. Get 3 water. Reveal 2 cards. Come on. The rubbish cards should have gone now. Still rubbish cards. The 1's going to be for energy. 2's going to be for movement. My movement is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's either 5, 6, or 7. So I could go for 7 movement points. Where do we want to go? That is a very good question. How much combat points have we got? We've got 3 combat points. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 away. I can have 5, 6, or 7. Quite like Beggar's End. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go with the 5 movement points. So it was 2, 3, 4, 5, which means I'm going to use Sophia for 3 energy. And I'm going to use my solar panels for another 2 energy, right? And then I'm going to move 5, so I get 3 water for having 5 movement. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 3 points on the way through. And I have a fight at Beggar's End. I need 5 combat. I have 1, 2, 3. I spend an energy to reveal a card. It's a 3. We've done. We succeeded in the fight and we get 5 points. Okay, nice. Actions. I either get 2 points or I play a card. I'm going to play a card. And it's going to be throw that away, spend 3 water and play an EMP blaster. Okay. And then my turn, I've got no cards in hand, but I want growth. And then next turn, I'm probably going to play the growth. So I want to take the card with probably with the 3 growths on it. I don't really need any energy now. I need metal. It looks like there's quite a lot of metal there. I'm going to go with that one. We're going to go metal in sector 3. Don't forget your reward for placing the cube on the player board. I did forget that. Yes, I forgot that. There's a reward for placing that cube. It's either 3 water or 2 points. I'm going to take the 3 water. Not sure. Not sure. That's the sound of somebody who's not sure. So metal, sector 3. We have 2 metal, no special abilities. Right, that's on the water. Okay, so I get 2 metal, but I do get 3 growth. That goes there. So 3 growth tiles. One, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the only green one. Yeah. Okay. We're done. Last round. I'm going to get cards. Yeah, don't worry about it. I am going to get cards. I've got a plan. So next round we read the book. Read the reverse side. Okay. A woman tells you the source is south of Nefaria. Add L6 to the game, which is an L card, an L tile. So yeah, add L6 to L, which goes there. Read story card 22. 22. Put this card next to the victory point stack. The winner reads the reverse right. Now, I forgot this last time, so I'm going to put it there in the hope that this time I don't forget about it. Okay. That's the book done. Production. I spend 1 energy and get 2 water. No, 3 water. I reveal 2 cards. We have a 2 and a 3, so the 2 goes there, and I will take cards. And the 3 is movement points. So 3, 4, 5, 6 movement points, 7 movement points, which means I get 3 energy. I've got 7 movement points, which means I get 3 points. And we've got 7 movement points. Now my combat is, I've not really done many upgrades in this game, have I? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 combat, but I've got loads of energy. Do we go for Hell's Point? I mean, why not? Why not go for Hell's Point? Yeah, I think we will. Right, so how much movement have we got? 7. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I get 3 cards and 3 points. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now we're having combat. So we're going for Hell's Point. Now this is going to be probably a disaster, but I've got some good cards in this deck and I have lots of energy. So off we go. Our combat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 combat points. Spend 1 energy. Combat points is now 8. I spend 2 energy. We only need 4 more. There's 3 and another 2 energy. Boom. Done. We defeated the Cloud Pirates of Hell's Point. That card goes on there and we get 11 points. That's massive. Right, this game feels to have gone quicker. Actions. I take card from 3 or, yeah, it's one or the other there, isn't it? Let me just check that. Yeah, or carry out a build action, or play a card. Right, so I think I'm going to play a card. I think I'm going to do an upgrade. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 metal to do this upgrade, which gets me 5 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Is there a bonus for placing the last cube? No, it's just end of game. Right, so that was that done. Now it's my go. I'm going to plant growth. And I can do 5. So I'm going to put all 5 on the board. Well, all 5. One of them goes on the board. Where was I? I was there. So one of them goes on the board there, which gets me 2 points plus 2 points. That's 4 points. And then these other 4. Right, well. Yeah. Because I'm going to be able to do 2 builds in a minute. And I've already got so much water to be able to do the 2 builds. I've got way too much. So I'll just take cards. Actually, I'll do that first. So that's 1 metal. And I get to do a build. So I'll play a card. And I'm going to play the... I'm going to play the care package for 13 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And throw a card away. Which gets me 10 points and 2 production boosts. So 10 points up to 47. 2 production boosts. I've gone past the line. I get 2 new cards. Okay. I've still got 3 more growth tiles to take. So I'm actually going to discard that one. I'm going to use that one to take 2 growth tiles. Place your growth on the 3 points. Oh, there's a 3-point one. Thank you very much. I'll have an extra point. For some reason, I didn't see that because it had those it had the lines around it. Did I get the bonus of the hexagons on the game board that you passed? Yes, I did, because I took that route round and I did get them. Okay, so 2 tiles. Oh, nice. There you go. So now I put that one on the board for 4 points. 152. Okay, so I've placed... How many have I placed? I've placed 1, 2, 3. 4. I've got 1 more to place, which will be this one. Yeah, 1 more to place, which will be that one, which is to take a metal and to play a card. Oh, maybe I didn't have enough water, because I'm going to get to place 2 cards in a minute. I'll just play that, throwing that away for a combat point. Okay, so that's all of my growth placed. I think I did three non-vegetative ones and then those. Right, I think that's good. And now we do end of game. I get to do production. So I spend 2 energy to get 4 water and a point. And then I get to do 2 builds. Actually, so let's just take that card back and throw that one away instead. Nobody saw that, did they? Right, my first build will be to play the mechanic. 4 water. Oh, I don't have enough cards. I'm short a card, but it's okay. I'll play the mechanic and immediately build an airship upgrade for 1 metal less. I'll spend those 2 metal to flip that over. It's worth an extra 2 points. I can't do the second one because I don't have enough. I'm 1 water short. Wow. I am 1 water short of playing a card that would actually get me 4 points. Oh, 1 water short. Pesky water. Right, end of game scoring. So let's go through it. Missions. How many cards have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 2 points. I've not done as well in this game as the last game. Movement. Yeah, my movement is 5, so I get 7 points for that. I'm going to have a combat. So my combat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I spend an energy. 8, 9. I'll spend 3 points because it's worth it. I'm at 9, 11. So I get 8 points. And there's a correction coming in. If you've placed the first growth tile on the 2 points, you could have placed the second on the 5 points. Oh. But did I know I was going to place it? I think I did. Because I did have 2. Yeah, okay. So we'll undo that slightly. Thank you. I basically get another 2 points. Good point. Yeah, if I was going to place 2, 1 could have gone there and 1 could have gone there. Yeah, nice. Okay. Peter's here. Hi, Peter. He's going to rewind and watch again. Or I could just play it all again. We're adding the final points. I've done the missions. We've done the missions. Cubes on the board. I had a cube on here which I didn't use. But I could have done. Aha! Right, let's do that. Let's just rewind. I'm going to remove that cube from there to place a growth tile, which will be this one, which gets me 4 water, okay, which is enough to then play this card that gets me 4 points. So that's a 2-point swing. There you go. Right. So I don't get the 2 points for that, but I do get the 4 for this. Now upgrades. I get 4 points for that. I get 3 points for that. That's 7. And I get 10 for that. So I get 17 points. 17 points is 86. And then we get points for cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was this anything? 6, 7. Through 7, 13, 14, 18, 21, 24, 24, 28. 28. So I will knock off 2 and add 30. That's 64, which is... Oh, that's actually a higher score. That's 114. Wow. I beat my last score. I got 108 last time. I got 114 this time. Does the extra card affect your mission card? Hi, Russ. Thank you for joining in. Does it or does it not? That's a good point. How many cards did I have? Well spotted, sir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It does. Thank you, Russ. 3 more points. 117. Okay, let's look up that on the table of doom. 117. Chapter 3 is 5 stars. This game's too easy. Compared to Maracaibo, I have been getting help from the chat, and you can increase the difficulty by taking 1 more mission card than called for in setup. How does that increase the difficulty? You can increase the difficulty level by taking 1 more mission card than called for during setup. How does that increase the difficulty? Surely that gives you more opportunity for points. Remember, from the second mission card onward, 1 mission is covered over. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Let me know how that works. How adding an extra mission card makes it more difficult. Because it's not like you lose points if you don't do them. Mission cards. Completed missions depending on level of success. He's confused. You do not get penalties for failing them. No. Victory points for completed missions depending on level of success. Cannot have 2 copies of the same mission. Yeah, I'm confused by that. I have no idea how that increases the difficulty level. Somebody's saying that failed missions reduce the number of stars. Oh, that's true. That is true. Yes. Okay, so... so, you have to... where is it? Where is it? I mean, scenario... no. No. So, to complete the scenario, you need to complete every mission at the highest level and have at least 110 victory points. Right. So, you can't increase the difficulty of the campaign mode, but you can increase the difficulty of the scenario mode, because in order to beat scenarios 2 and 3, you have to complete every mission at the highest level. Right, okay. And Mikhail is saying the stars table has been revised. Oh, okay. If you can ping me the link, or I'll message him afterwards. Because, yeah, compared to Maracaibo, where I'm struggling to win, this one I seem to be doing quite well. Anyway, we're going to read the next bit of the story. Sam can hardly believe it. With Sophia, we have a real electronics... His accent's completely changed, by the way. With Sophia, we have a real electronics expert on the team. Now, all we need is titanium for the devices and a botanist to help choose the best plants. Soon we'll plant an enormous forest and alter the climate. Mind you, the Cloud militias worry me. Their activity is increasing. I hope they aren't planning a larger attack. Okay, so to clean up, we will put all of the legacy tiles and story tile 23 into the bag. I'm actually going to do that now. Because if I forget and I get up tomorrow morning and I put this game away, I will accidentally clear these off the board. So they're going to go in there along with story card 23, which is actually over there in a different pile. And that is the end of chapter 3. So I said this was going to be a playthrough and a review. So here's the thing, a little bit of... don't forget to give Paul a thumbs up. Yes, please thumbs up the video. Oh, and Mikhail is saying, so chapters 1 and 2 are changed. 60 for the max stars on chapter 1. Oh, instead of 80, so they've made it easier. And 90 for max stars on chapter 2. So they've made it easier. It doesn't need to be easier. Right, anyway, back to what I was saying. For the last couple of years on my channel, I have been doing reviews. I used to do 2 reviews a month, but then as I started changing the style of the reviews that I did, they were less quick and dirty, and they were a bit more detailed. Each of those reviews that I was doing on my channel took me approximately 2 days of work. maybe 2.5, because I got the game. I had to play the game multiple times at different player counts. Now, whilst I'm enjoying playing games, being forced into playing a particular game multiple times when I've got other games that I want to be playing, then writing the review, filming it, editing it, and everything else. It was a lot of work. So what I did is, at the end of last year, I took a break from the reviews, and I compensated by producing 3 times as much live content. So live content like this takes less time to prepare for, and I'm able to produce more videos like this. So I took a step back from doing the reviews. Then I asked my Patreon supporters at the start of this year whether they are okay at the moment to still not see the reviews. And the feedback generally that I've got was people are enjoying the amount of content that I'm producing at the moment, and they're okay for me not to be doing the reviews at the moment. The reviews weren't working out for me much anyway. They weren't getting much views or engagement. I quite liked doing them, but it was a lot of time and effort for one game. So the compromise was, people suggested, why don't you do a review at the end of a live video? So that's what I'm going to do. I don't normally do this. This is the first time I've done this. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spend about 5 minutes, 10 minutes talking about my impressions of this game. Feel free to join me in the chat. Let me know what you think about the game, whether you've actually got the game, you've been playing it. I'm assuming if you've played the game and you didn't like it, you probably wouldn't be here. Or if you've not played the game, let me know what you think from these playthroughs. So I've played it 3 times. The first time I played it, as I mentioned, was me learning how to play from the rulebook, which was a few weeks ago. And tonight I have played through chapters 2 and 3 of a 7-chapter scenario, with chapter 3 being the one that introduces the rules. There are no more rules that now get introduced in the game. The 2 extra rules that were brought in were the mission cards, which came in chapter 2, and the growth tiles, which came in chapter 3. That is now the full game. When you play this game as a standalone game, you can either play Scenario 1, Scenario 2, or Scenario 3, which I think is brilliant, because people who prefer lighter games might just want to play Scenario 1. Okay, what I'm saying is, for heavy gamers like myself, or medium to heavy gamers, Scenario 2 and 3 with the growth tiles and all of the extra stuff and the missions is fine. But if you want to play this game with people who are less used to gaming, you can remove the mission cards, you can remove the growth tiles. I forgot to put this in the bag. And that's good. It isn't like... there are certain other games where you can play a cut down version and it feels cut down. This, Scenario 1 or Chapter 1, felt good. So I like the fact that straight out of the box, you have 3 scenarios, one of which you would play with people who aren't used to heavier games. Scenarios 2 and 3, you would play with anybody who's used to his other games. And I'm not talking Isle of Skye or Oh My Goods. I'm talking Mombasa, Great Western Trail, Maracaibo, things like that. If they're used to that, you can probably play scenarios 2 and 3. The campaign, I have the same feeling as I do about this than I do with the Maracaibo campaign, which is the game doesn't need it. If this game came with 3 scenarios, it would be fine. But it has the campaign mode. It's there if you want it. I really like it. Okay? I love the way that there's a story and the board evolves, and the next time I play, the things that I did in the previous game have affected the board. I like that. Okay? It gives for me, not that I paid for this game. I'll be honest with you. I'm a reviewer, influencer, content creator, whatever you want to call me, and various other names that I've been called in the last few weeks. Whatever you want to call me, I got sent a copy of this game for free by the publisher. So I didn't pay for it. But if I had paid for it, I'm looking for value for money out of the box. And I don't know how much the game is, but the fact that the game comes with 3 different scenarios and a campaign mode with 7 different stories, whatever, it's about replayability. Now, let's take Great Western Trail as a comparison. Great Western Trail doesn't have a solo mode built in. Great Western Trail doesn't have a campaign mode. Great Western Trail is one of my favourite games of all time, and I could play it 200 times and I would not be bored of it. Okay? So a game like Great Western Trail and Maracaibo without the solo campaign has replayability built in because of the nature of the game. And I would play those games 100, 200 times and I'd not be bored. Would I play this game 200 times? No. Okay? And that is because this is a lighter game. Well, right, let me finish the sentence. It's not just because it's a lighter game. It's because there's a lighter game, there is less going on, there's less variability. After I've played this game maybe 15, 20 times, maybe 25, which to be honest is absolutely fine. If you're getting 25 plays out of a game, that's fine. If I played the base game of this 20, 25 times, that would probably be it for me. But the fact that there's a campaign mode as well, that increases for me the replayability in the amount of times that I would play this game. So anyway, for those people who have bought the game, do you think it's value for money? Again, I don't know how much it is. I'll answer some questions in the chat, and then I've got a few other things that I want to say about it as well. How good is the game compared to Maracaibo? That is a very good question. I don't know, Edgar, if you have seen my top 10 video of all time. Quick plug for it. Go and watch it. It came out this week. Top 10 games of all time as voted on by my Patreon supporters. Great Western Trail is on that list. Spoiler. I discussed in that top 10 video whether Maracaibo for me is better than Great Western Trail or not. Okay, so Great Western Trail is one of my favourite games of all time. Maracaibo right now is just edging it. So that's how highly I rate Maracaibo. And the question was, what was the question? How good is this game compared to Maracaibo? It's a good game. I don't think it's as good as Maracaibo, personally. And that's because of my sweet spot of the weight, the complexity, and the depth of the game. Maracaibo fits more into my sweet spot. Now, don't get me wrong, this game solo takes about an hour to play, although Maracaibo takes about an hour to play. Yeah, this would probably be 45 minutes. If I wasn't streaming it and playing this quickly, this would be 45. It's a shorter game. It's a lighter game. Does it have any elements from Maracaibo in it? I don't think it does. No, I don't think it does. So for me, if you gave me both games and said, Paul, you have to keep one of them, it would be Maracaibo. I think Maracaibo has more replayability, more variability, and more depth to the game than this has. That's not to say this is a bad game. Right. The revised logbook is on Nanox's games webpage. Okay. Mark is saying the game looks fun. And it would play well in multiplayer. This is the bit I want to play. I've played this game 3 times. I've never played it multiplayer. I really want to play it multiplayer because of how this works. And I'm just going to go over this again for anybody who is joining who is new, who didn't understand how this bit worked. And I'm just going to mock up a couple of extra players. Where's the bags with all of the bits in? Here we go. Right. So we're playing a 3-player game, right? Here's how it works. It's my turn. I decide that I'm going to collect resources. So I decide which card I want, which is based on the number in the top left, the number of growth tiles you get, and they always add up to, well, that's 3 is always 1, the 2 is always 3, and the 4 is always nothing. And the resources that you want. So let's say I really want metal, okay? I can see beneath these clouds that there is quite a bit of metal on this card. I think this mechanism of the partially obscured cards is genius, right? I love it. And I've never seen it done before in another game. And I think it's brilliant. So you're looking at the cards and you're thinking, well, there's a lot of metal on this one, but I don't really know how much. But it's more than 1. It's definitely more than 1, but we don't know. The metal might go into here. Whereas if I really wanted a wrench action, there's metal here and there's a bit here, but I'd get to do a build. Oh, which one do I want? But actually, I want a growth tile. So you've got lots of things to take into account. And let's say I decide I'm going to go for metal on there, right? Then play goes clockwise around the table, and the next player says, right, well, Paul's gone for metal. Which one do I want? Well, actually, I really want to thin my deck at the moment. And if we look there, there's an icon that's going to allow me to thin my deck. So, and oh, if we look, there's some brown buildings. All right, so player 2 decides that they want cards. And then player 3 says, well, it's either water or energy. There appears to be more energy on the board. And I can just about see some orange under here. So white decides to go for energy. So that is a really interesting decision of what you do. Then what you do is you reveal the card, and then everybody gets what they wanted. So I wanted metal, and thankfully there's 3 metal, which is great. So I get 3 metal. The second player wanted cards, gets 1 card. So actually they were hoping for 2, but they only got 1. But they do get to thin their deck. And then player 2 chose energy, gets 2 energy and the wrench. Now they didn't see the wrench because it was hidden under the clouds. So again, it's, oh no, you can just about see it. But it's about partially hidden information. It's really, really good. I really like this mechanism. It's brilliant and I've never seen it before. And what's also good is that there are 6 sleeves with the game and the sleeves are 2-sided. So the cloud pattern is different on each one. Okay, so which card you put in which sleeve is going to vary the amount of information that's obscured. And if you were to describe this mechanism to me, I'd say that this is awful and sounds terrible because I'm a Eurogame player. I like deterministic results. And this, if you described it to me, I would think, yeah, it sounds awful. Having seen it and the way it's been implemented, I think it's genius. And I've never seen anything like it before. That's really, really cool. Right, let's talk about the rulebook. I always talk about the rulebook in my review videos. So I will give you now my honest opinion of the rulebook in the fact that it is okay. If you want to know more details of what I thought about the rulebook, go and watch my video where I actually learned how to play the game from this rulebook, and I was giving direct feedback at the time. There's 2 pages of front-loading information, which is bad, in my opinion. It is not good to front-load all of this information at the start of a rulebook, because to be honest, whilst this is important information, this is not the place for it. You've read the components list, you've read the flavour, and all of a sudden, you've now been thrown in at the deep end and filled with game terms that literally make no sense whatsoever. Okay? What should have happened, in my opinion, is there should have been the before your first game section. That should be absolutely next. But all of this information, which can be found in this area, should not be here. It should be moved to the relevant parts of the rulebook where that information is relevant. Not here, where it just overloads the reader and confuses them. Okay, it's a style thing. Some people don't have a problem with that, but in my professional opinion, that should not be here. Can you learn how to play this game from the rulebook? Yes, and I did. I did a live video where I learned how to play the game from the rulebook. Is the rulebook perfect? No. Apart from that, there's some typos. There's a couple of typos in there, only minor ones. But when I see typos in a rulebook and mistranslations, yeah, that's a problem. Some people don't like the fact that you've got chapter 1, scenario 1 setup, and then you've got a second one here, which this is the setup for all of the games, but if you're playing chapter 2, it's in an orange box. I didn't have a problem with this. This was okay for me, but some people have commented that it might have been better to put this after the rules, because everybody for the first time should play scenario 1 or chapter 1. And then you have the rules of the game. And then afterwards, or you just have a thing to say, if you're setting up for chapters 2 or scenario 2, please see the back of the rulebook and actually put this at the back of the rulebook. I didn't have a problem with this, but I know some people did. The rest of it, this is actually clear. I had no problems with this. I learned how to play the game from this, and as I say, apart from a couple of minor things, it was actually okay. I had no problem with this at all. Now, a friend of mine, Graham, who's not here this evening because he's playing D&D, he's actually asked a load of rules questions on BGG, And then I did the live stream where I learned how to play the game from the rulebook and didn't have any major issues. And then I spoke to him afterwards and he said, yeah, the rules queries that he had only come in later on. So chapter 1 was fine from the rulebook, but chapter 2 onwards, the mission cards, it's not completely clear. There's been a few people who've asked rules about the mission cards. Also, some of the text on some of the cards where it says, give that player the card, right? You saw this earlier on when we took Sam. It said, give this card to the player, but it doesn't say where. Now, I knew what to do with it because I've read the BGG forum, but it wasn't clear. And this is another problem with games is even if your rulebook is great, you need to make sure that the text on the cards is absolutely clear that people know what to do with it. But overall, rulebook not as bad as I was expecting based on what feedback I'd had. And in fact, yeah, I would say it's probably okay, bordering on good. I've seen a lot worse rulebooks than this. I love the fact that the back page of the rulebook has all of the mission details and project cards in details. Sure, it could do with a few tweaks, and I've spoken to Alexander and I've fed some information back to him about what I think could be improved in it. But yeah, rulebook was okay. Rene's got to go. Thank you for joining in, Rene. So let's have a look at the chat, see what people are saying. Marielle saying, you finished the campaign last night. Loved it as a lighter Pfister game and was easily able to take it to the table after a long day of work. Johan, however, thought it too random. Interesting. Too random. So let's have a look at the random element. Let's have a look at the skill versus random element. I mean, I won both games with a 5-star victory, therefore it must be a skill-based game. Fact. There you go. Simple. No, kidding. Okay, you have the look of the cards. You have the look factor of drawing the cards, but every card that you play requires you to discard another card. So I think that is built into the game mechanisms that you will get more cards than you need, which gives you therefore more choice. But you're right, there is a look factor in the cards, okay? There is also the look factor on these two cards here, okay? So yes, this is a look factor in that you draw 2 cards from your deck every time. The lower value determines how much energy or cards you get, and the higher value determines how much movement you get. And at the end, you saw that my deck was 1, 2s and 3s. That's quite a difference in movement, 1, 2 or 3. Did it affect me in the game? I don't think it did. It wasn't like I'm rolling a dice for movement, which would be even worse. And the great thing was, on round 1 of this second game, I drew the 0 and the 1. That means I knew the 0 and the 1 were gone from my deck, which means I could safely do combat, and I know that I wouldn't draw the 0. So, yep, there is the look factor in the cards. Did I feel it was too much? I personally didn't. But please bear in mind, I've only played this solo. And there are a number of solo games where I do not mind a little bit of the look factor. If this was a multiplayer game and I was playing against you and it was really, really close, and then on the last round, I drew a double 1 and I couldn't move to the place that I needed to get to, and they were the only 2 1s in my deck, for example. Okay, so there is a look factor in that. The other look factor is in the combat, where you basically spend energy and you flip over cards. Similar thing. There could be the look factor of that. And then again, you've also got the look factor of the city cards. The city cards, I think, is great. But the look factor comes in when you're looking at something and you think, oh, that's probably a 2, and then you reveal it and it is a 2, or it might be a 3. Okay, so you can generally see enough information on the card that if something's a 3, you can probably see it's a 2 or a 3. You're not going to pick something that looks like a 2 and is only a 1, for example. I don't think. So yeah, there is a bit of a look factor there. I personally feel that the look factor is okay, but as I say, I've only played it solo. Mikhail says you've played Scenario 1 with 2 players besides your solo games. Scenario 2 or 3 and more players would be a lot of fun. Yeah, once lockdown ends, I think I'm going to take the rest of the year off work because I have so many games that I've been playing solo recently. that I want to play multiplayer. Not to mention, of course, Eclipse 2nd Edition, Anachrony, Infinity Box, Arkham Horror Living Card Game. All of the games that I was going to play anyway, that I can't at the moment because I'm not having people round. But yeah, I definitely like to play this. So Adam asked earlier on and said, really want to get this game. I know, Adam, you're a fan of Alexander Pfister's heavier games. So I think as long as you go into this knowing that it is one of his games, it's got some different mechanisms, but it's a bit lighter, then that's fine. Yes, Giblock says you'd like to see me play it multiplayer. I'd like to see it played multiplayer. And I've been doing a lot of remote playthroughs. I'm not sure how this would work as a remote playthrough. It's potentially possible. Oh no, in fact, there isn't a hand of cards. Oh, there is a hand of cards. Okay, there's a hand of cards, which is these. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to cut down on the number of difficult remote playthroughs that are actually, for me, 3 hours of stress because I've got camera angles, other people, and it's a lot of work and it's taken its toll. Yeah, the hand of cards would be a problem. I've done it before. The way that I do it, and I've done this with Rick in a game. What I do is I have Rick's cards or whoever's cards, right? So here is your hand of cards, for example. Now this would not be here. This would be over here on the table. So you can't see it, but over there. So over there would be these 8 cards. Okay, so they would be off this camera. They would be over on the corner of the table. I would then have a third camera set up, pointing at those cards, and I would press a button on my Stream Deck, and it would show Rick his cards, right? He would then take a screenshot of those cards, and then drag that screenshot over to his other monitor. So on one monitor, he's watching this, and on the other monitor, he has his hand of cards. It's possible, okay? Or you could play with hands open. You could play with hands open. The problem with that is they would be there. They would be there. There'd be way too much on screen. I'd have to zoom out even more. And then for those of you watching, you end up seeing a whole page, a whole table full of mess. So it is possible. And as I say, no, it wasn't Rick. It was Christoph. Yeah, when I did the Anno 1800 remote playthrough, that's exactly what we did. Christoph had like a hand of 15 cards. I had them off to the corner of the table with an extra camera set up. So it is possible. It is possible to do. But there are so many other games that I can play remotely that are a bit easier. Yeah. Right. Any other questions in the chat? Is there something I haven't mentioned about the game? I'm trying to think. I don't normally give games marks out of 10 because it's all very subjective. All I know is that I went into this game expecting it to be a good Alexander Pfister game. And to be fair, it's not just him. I mean, I'm saying it's Alexander because he's the big name designer, okay? It's actually Arno Steinwender as well, okay? So the two of them together, let's give credit where credit is due. It's actually both of them who've worked together on it. Is this a good game? Yes. Do I enjoy playing it? Yes. Have I enjoyed all of my plays? Yes. Do I want to play it again? Yes. Is it better than Great Western Trail or Maracaibo? No. Is it better than Mombasa? Good question. I really like Mombasa. Yeah, I'm not sure. But no, I really like this. And as I say, I think if you like Alexander Pfister's games, this one sort of feels a little bit like his in some ways. But there's a lot about this that's quite new. There's a lot about this that's quite interesting and different. So yeah, I like that. Just notice there's a place on the board that costs 3 movement points to move in and doesn't have anything in it. You see that? Let me just zoom in on this board here. Is that right? There's an area on this board that costs 3 movement points to get to, but there is no benefit for going there. Is that a misprint? That's weird. unless there's something about that that comes in later on, which there isn't, because there isn't a letter on there. Anybody know the answer to this? Because why would you ever go there? You'd just go round. That's weird. Right, okay. How did it feel thematically? Good question. Thematically, I like the theme. Sorry. I like the setting of post-apocalyptic, all the water's gone, you know, there's been a disaster, all of that stuff. I like that as a setting. Do I feel that that setting came through in the game? I don't. At no point did I feel I was flying a Zeppelin around the board and attacking cloud pirates and building. This could have been about anything. Now, I don't say that as a bad thing, because for me, the setting could be anything. I play a game for the mechanisms. If this was a game about space dinosaurs and I was traveling around the galaxy and I was eating leaves or doing weird... yeah, that would be a little weird. I prefer the setting of this game, but this is a game... this is a mechanisms game. I don't feel there is much theme there. Now, I know that there is, you know, the card that says EMP Blaster gives you +1 to your combat. Okay, I know the Grappler means that when you fly past metal, you can pick up 1 more metal. That isn't theme for me. That is just cards with abilities that cost a certain amount of stuff and gives you a certain amount of points. And I've no problem with that whatsoever. Yeah, I personally didn't feel the setting came through thematically. I guess you're upgrading your airship, and if you upgrade the engines, you move further, and if you upgrade the weapons, you've got more combat. No, there's not much. Not much. Oh, Alexander's here. Hello. It's a blocking space. What do you mean by a blocking space? Tell me later. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, the player board is cool with the... yeah. Oh, production quality. That's the other thing I always mention in my reviews. Production quality is good. You know, the card stock is good. It's these boards, they are a perfectly good thickness. Oh, there's variability in the boards as well. The bit I was really impressed about is these sleeves, because when I first got these sleeves, before reading the rules, I was like, oh, I put a card in a sleeve, and I was like, well, this is the wrong size sleeve. This doesn't fit properly. And then I read the rules, and it was like, oh, you put 8 cards in the sleeve. So these sleeves are actually the perfect size, because you put 8 cards in them, and they slot in, and there's a bit at the top for you to take the card out. It's just, yeah, production quality-wise, I also like the fact that things are not just square. The fact that it's got little indentations cut out and everything like that, that's all fine. Card quality, it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's got a bit of a linen finish, but the cards are okay. You might want to sleeve these cards if you are a sleever and you play the game a lot. I mean, I've played it 3 times. They're not showing any signs of any wear or anything like that, so that's good. Russ has made a good point. Stickers. There are stickers to apply in this game. Now, I don't mind applying stickers, but there were quite a few. And it was actually quite hard to apply these cloud stickers to the sleeves. But necessary evil. These don't need stickers on whatsoever, but it just looks nice. And one thing I really liked about this, which I've seen other games not do, is you actually get 2 different colours of stickers. You get white ones and black ones, and you use the white ones on the dark pieces and the black ones on the light pieces. I've had other games where all of the stickers are white, and then excuse me, and then on the yellow pieces you can't see the white. So that's just a really nice touch. Yeah, stickers. So you're going to fly around this space, so kind of blocking. Oh, okay, right. Not blocking as in other players can go there to block you. It's just, it's a space for blocking. Also, that's where the secret headquarters is. Yeah, we know. Mikhail says you sleeve the cards with thin sleeves and they still... oh, right. So you've sleeved these cards with the thin sleeves and they still fit in here. Right, interesting. Okay, and yes, you've got 6 of these cloud sleeves. So I mentioned earlier on that the cloud patterns will be different depending on which side of the sleeve you use. There's actually extra sleeves with other patterns on as well. And you basically pick 3 of your sleeves at random. I got something in my throat. There we go. Right. Other components. The wooden components are really nice. I do like custom shaped components, and you get a huge amount of the water drops. There didn't need to be this many. I'm happy that there were this many because I do like them. But because the game comes with the 5s, I was surprised that there were that many individual water drops. So yeah, plenty of wooden components. Yeah, what else is there to mention? Am I done or am I just starting? I'm done, Simon. I've played 2 games and I am just wrapping up my review, final thoughts, whatever you want to call it. You are welcome to rewind, but if you don't know the game, I'd possibly watch video 1 first, because this was parts 2 and 3. Yeah, huge amount of water, said the guy who had 25 at one go. Yeah, but you shouldn't probably use 25 ones. You should probably use the 5s because it's easier to count. Oh, Marielle's saying on the other side are 3 spaces blocking. Yes, you're right. Ah, but they're in a big line. Yeah, they're in a big line. Right, there we go. I think we are all done. I have a date downstairs with a piece of carrot cake. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I can't wait to play this again. This is really good. I don't know when I'm going to play this again. As I say, my Patreon supporters basically have an influence on what I play. I'm currently in the middle of 3 campaigns. I have the Maracaibo campaign, which is hopefully going to get finished next week. I have the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, which again might be finished next week. And I am now in the middle of this. I am 3 chapters into a 7-chapter campaign. I don't know when I'm going to be covering this game again, but as I say, my Patreon supporters do help me choose what game I'm going to play next. And if they all want me to carry on playing CloudAge, then I'm going to carry on playing CloudAge. I do want to play through all of it. Yeah. It's just fitting it in alongside the other games that I've got that I need to cover on the channel. Right, we are all done. Thank you very much for everybody for watching. Thank you, Alexander, for popping in the chat. And yeah, what was I going to talk to you about later on? I can't remember. I was going to talk to you about that space, but you've explained it. So I think we're all good. Again, as I mentioned at the start, thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters for making the content possible. If you like the content that I create and you want to support the channel and help me make more videos, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/gamingrules. Make sure you give the video a like, thumbs up, and yeah, if you are not watching this live, obviously, thank you very much to everybody who's watching this live. If you're not watching this live, please leave me a comment on the video. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know if you want to see more CloudAge content. Let me know if you've played the game and what you think of it. Other than that, I'm going to go downstairs, get some cake, have a lie down. Thanks, everybody. Take care. I'll see you next week. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.